Oiler Insider, and Jersey Aficionado.
Minimal. Pedro Porro. Williams. Yes.
60% talent, 40% Swedish hair cream.
New Zealand has another major champion.
It's all gas, no brakes.
Jargo in the shotgun that's raked it directly to his left. Cody looks to his right. Taps it around the pocket. Gets it away. Alex. TJ Luther's got his second of the year. And Edmonton goes back on top.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440.
Good morning. Tuesday edition of the Tom Gazzola Show here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Bet365. Canada just hit the biggest home run of the summer. Bet365 available in Alberta and here to stay. Download the app. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Alberta just hit a big home run with Bet365. You know who doesn't hit big home runs? The Toronto Blue Jays. Hey-o. Tom Gazzola, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick with you on this Tuesday edition of the show. Happy to be here. Weird weather-wise, rain and smoke. Right? And like a orangey blue sunrise, Brando. Weird.
It's weird out there, Tom.
It's weird out there, man.
Not quite to the extent of different times where we've had smoke come in over the years where it feels almost like apocalyptic, right, with the haze and everything. When you bring the rain into the mix, it's kind of hard to gauge what exactly is going on. Looking out my window all afternoon yesterday and even this morning, without the actual raindrops on the window, I was like, are those clouds or is it just smoke? I'm really having a hard time gauging. So then you just kind of play the odds, and it's not exactly like you're jonesing to get outside when you can taste it on your tongue, the smoke in the air. So obviously wishing the best to everyone affected by the fires that are seemingly burning everywhere across northern Canada and parts of Saskatchewan and BC, I think. So it's not great, but it just seems to be an inevitability at this point. It's year after year. It doesn't seem to change now.
That's disappointing.
It is, very much so.
And I think we just got hit with some tariffs from the U.S.
Old Donnie paying us back in kind.
I know this. I stay away from politics because I don't like them and I don't know them enough. I'm not smart enough to figure them out. But that guy's a joke.
Well, you didn't like him mixing it up with the Spanish soccer team and their celebrations?
You know what I did like? How they photoshopped him out of the World Cup photo. What an idiot. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, back in good old our town. I mean, the smoke and the rain, and I know it's coming from wildfires outside of here, and we've had plenty of rain, but like it creates a weird thing. And you don't want it to be the norm. And for us, like Brenda, like you're saying, just to be like, well, it's inevitable. We're just waiting for those smoky weeks.
Mm-hmm.
No, screw that, man. Alas, here we are. Yesterday, the Riverhawks were able to play their game. I know they were kind of warning everyone on social media. They're keeping eyes on the air quality, and obviously it was good enough to play. They dropped the decision 3-2 to the Kamloops North Powers. I actually caught, you know what I love? You can watch them on YouTube. If you don't go down to Remax Field, you can just watch them on YouTube. I was watching intermittently and then managed to catch the bottom of the ninth. The Riverhawks, a couple men on, a couple of walks. Actually, one guy got hit by a pitch. And then big K for the loss. Oh, no, there was a K. And then I think fly out. Anyway, I'll tell you what else, though. Tommy Gazzola on MLB The Show.
Turning the attention to where it really matters.
Cranked a couple of dingers last night.
Yeah?
Oh, baby.
You watched the baseball on TV and thought, these guys are scrubs. Let me go show them how it's really done. You turn on. Are you an Xbox or a PlayStation guy?
PlayStation, yeah.
Okay.
I love that game. It's got me hooked. And And I know it's not everybody's cup of tea when we talk video games, so we keep it like also intermittent. But I saw the preview for NHL 27. I know we touched on it a little bit last week. I watched more of it, and to me, no thank you. Like Fenny was saying last week, sweat on their faces on the close-ups, and we're talking about graphical improvements. No thanks, I'm out. I know that was kind of you said it facetiously, Fenny, but that's kind of what they're doing here. Nothing special. Anyway, we have a fantastic show for you. As always, Ben Ennis, Sportsnet 590, The Fan out in Toronto, will join us in about 15 minutes. We'll talk about the Jays and their struggles. Ouch, yesterday, boys. Not good. 7-1, no bats. Vladdy Guerrero. People talk about his launch angle. We can ask Ben about Vladdy Guerrero's launch angle and how he's struggling. No home runs at home still. What is he sitting on? 6 still? Not good. Mark Spector at 8 o'clock. Paul Sir. Fantastic. Always to catch up with Paul. Hoop City. He's our headliner of the day. Austin Mock from The Athletic. We'll talk NFL. Camp's getting ready to get going. And then Connor Halley from The Frenzy and the Jason Greger show will join us. And then we'll also catch up with Cam Tate via Cam and Eggs. And we'll go in and out with Brando. And away we go. And then the other thing, just to kind of mop this pop culture stuff up, Doomsday trailer dropped yesterday. If you're an Avengers/Marvel fan, Fenny's shaking his head. Brando, you said it looks like crap.
I'm not enough of a movie buff to like critique trailers of films or even films. I just like to go watch a movie and say either I liked it or I didn't. I can't necessarily tell you why. It's not my wheelhouse. But it's sort of just like a little bit of detachment from the whole superhero wave. Like I was so invested in it from 2008 through to the last Avengers movies, like Infinity War and Endgame, and then after that, it was kind of all right. I'm spent. Like I can't start over.
Yeah,
I was like I watched maybe a couple of the movies since then, TV shows as well. Like it's kind of we've talked about this already, Tom. Like I'm pumped for the new Spider-Man movie coming out in another couple weeks. A week?
Yeah, the 10 days. Or no, 9 days.
The 30th?
Maybe it's the 29th. I've seen, now it depends. Sometimes the trailers come from out of North America and it's like July 30th or July 31st. I think in North America, we get it the 29th.
July what? 31st.
It is 31st?
Says
oh,
Josh.
Damn it, Benny.
Well, either way, we're talking a week or 10 days,
10 days.
As you originally said, Tom. You shouldn't have doubted yourself. I'm pumped for that. I'm pumped to hopefully try and get out and see the Odyssey this week.
Yeah.
Like I'm still, I like going out to take in some new films, but yeah, this one doesn't move the needle for me.
I am like you. You know, when people get on series of shows, I know people like White Lotus, Euphoria, the new Game of Thrones.
I'm watching, like that's appointment for me every Sunday night.
Yeah.
Appointment viewing. I'm watching it as soon as it's live on Crave.
Okay. For me, I loved Game of Thrones, but as soon as it was done,
you felt spent.
I was done. Like you were with the Avengers and Marvel and Endgame, which was epic, by the way. I'm the same
very
way.
epic.
Once I feel I've completed the show, I went through thick and thin with it. I put it back on the shelf and I leave it there. Don't need to go back to it. You know what I mean? That's just how my mind works. Some people like to revisit. Some people will watch The Office a million times. Some people love the show Friends. Me, no. I finish it, done, put it away.
So you're not like a rewatcher of anything?
No.
Wow.
Except Ghostbusters.
Oh, of course.
Obvious.
Masterpiece.
It's cinematic history. It's Harold Ramis at his finest, Brendan.
I'll take your word for it.
Thank you. He was a genius. May he rest in peace. We do have some texts that have already come in. Good morning to those that are joining the conversation. Highly encourage it, obviously. 1-833-401-1440. Jay in Victoria wants to talk Jays. I'll save that one for Ben Ennis, actually. That's a good question, Jay in Victoria. Thank you. And then this one says, what are we getting? Oh, okay. I'll get to that one later. Who's that from? No name on it.
Herb.
Oh, Herb. I'll save it in our That one's political, so I'm always very leery of that. You know what I'm saying?
You opened it, Tom. You opened the can of worms.
I cracked the door open a little bit, but
you put the can opener on the top and then squeeze the handle to punch through.
And I was like,
you didn't necessarily start cranking the handle.
No, we're not cranking that handle. Absolutely not. But isn't it funny whenever that person intertwines themselves with sporting events and teams, those teams have the worst luck. Take, for example, the New York Knicks, who lost the only game that person attended. I believe Argentina was that person's choice for the World Cup champion. Didn't happen, obviously. And then, there's been some other ones. I'll just leave it there. UFC. Oh God, I'll just leave it there. Let's just park that one. You know what, Brandon? Let's put that one on the bookshelf too. But I'll read Herb's text later. Camrose Chris chiming in. Good morning, Camrose Chris says, streaming service is basically cable. Commercials once a week, buying packages, crazy. I think we're, if you count all the streaming services and you add in your Spotify, or if you have like Apple Music, whatever, I think it probably costs more than just having cable at this point.
For a basic cable package, probably. But are you getting all the same avenues? Like, there is still benefits to streaming, the on-demand part of it, obviously, right? You can watch any show at any time. You're not going off someone else's schedule. Ditto goes for the sports. And I get like PVR and stuff that exists now, but that has its limits. Because if I subscribe to all my sports services like Sportsnet Plus, TSN Plus, and DAZN, right, I'm shelling out, over $100 a month amongst the three of them. It would be very close to, because I buy them annually, so I'd have to think about it for a second to figure out what they run me monthly.
Right.
But I get access to every single NFL game, not just the primetime ones that are aired on TSN or CTV.
Right.
So for TSN, it's kind of a little bit of potpourri because you want some Raptor stuff, you want World Juniors, all the way down the line. And then Sportsnet, every single NHL hockey game. It's the equivalent to NHL with these like center ice package.
I remember center ice package.
So there are still benefits, and this is me, like, I'm a streaming guy. I have been. I've never had a cable subscription in my adult life. We had satellite at the farm growing up. I've just always been online for simplicity, because it is simple. It gives you a lot of options. That doesn't mean that it's all this, like, it started off as an inexpensive commercial-free alternative. That's not what it is anymore.
Oh no. And if you don't have YouTube Premium, that's a pain in the ass too. Commercials at the most inadvertent times. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
To sum it up.
For sure.
To sum it up. Good morning to everybody in the chat over on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate that very, very much. Okay. Anything else we want to get off our chest in the first segment?
Yeah, well, it's just kind of, venting a little bit.
I know.
Here. We talked weather. We talked politics. We talked movie trailers. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Streaming
is there anything else grinding my gears on this Tuesday morning, Tom, that we haven't already covered? I don't think so.
You tell me.
I think we got to them all.
Benny, you got anything? I mean, you look very well rested, I have to say.
Yeah. As I said, when I came in here, I slept for like 15 hours. I got home yesterday.
That's it, huh?
I slept for 7 hours, woke up 8, went immediately back to bed after the fact, and woke up at 5:15 this morning. But yeah, I'm feeling dandy because it was a long weekend, basically, with not a lot of good sleep thrown in there. And you can only operate off bad sleep for so long,
That's a fair point.
And so here we are. The Doomsday thing.
Yes.
Oh God! Like, I won't be going to see it. It's not like I've been going to everything in the theaters for Marvel since, I would say, Guardians 3. Since then,
I haven't seen.
But I watched the trailer yesterday. I was like, oh God, the CGI does not look good at all. And so I think it's going to be an ugly mess. People will still go out and see it. It'll make $1 billion or whatever. But like, I'm out.
Yeah,
we're about 3 hours away from that, but I'm out. I'm out on Avengers Doomsday.
I do recall I went to see The Flash, and the only reason why was for Michael Keaton. as
Yep.
Batman.
Real as hell.
Yeah.
Real as hell.
And-
Can't even knock you there.
Yeah, that was it. And anytime he was on the screen, part of the movie, I was happy. The rest of it, I'm like, what is happening? What is this? This is not my Batman. Anyway, I digress. Okay. Well, we're going to have a good show. Ben Ennis is going to kick us off by talking about the Jays. I see some text coming in. If you have any questions for Ben about the Jays, let me know. Fire that to 1-833-401-1440. Saw Doc texting in. $200 a month. Shaw Satellite Premium Package. Does that give you everything? Like everything. Is that like the be all end all? Do you get every like Paramount Plus, Apple TV? Tell me, Sadoc. I am curious. And then Darren has a hack. That is, I might look into that, Darren, when it comes to YouTube. Anyway, NFL camp's right around the corner. We'll talk NFL, obviously. Some restricted free agents still available in the NHL. Jason Robertson, Adam Fantilli, and obviously Cutter Gauthier. Speck will fill us in on those. And yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of fun today. It's going to be a good Tuesday show. We're going to be in it together, ride through this weird rain/smoke weather, and we'll be just fine right here on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365. On the way next, Ben Ennis from Sportsnet 590. The Fan. We'll talk Jays. We'll talk Leafs. It'll be a good time. We're off and running right here on this fine program. We'll be back right after this.
Recently, our company softball team lost a big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with trackhoe or backhoe experience, All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with trackhoe or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Need an excuse to upgrade your ride?
Well, we got a few to share.
Go Auto has over 18,000 new and used vehicles ready to test drive right now. With more than 70 locations, your perfect match could be closer than you think. A family-friendly SUV for soccer practice, a fuel-sipping commuter, or a hardworking truck that's ready for anything. Trusted brands and a team that's actually
Happy to help.
Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
For all your welding supplies, think AWS Welding. Located in Nisku, their readily stocked storefront carries a wide variety of welding glasses, cylinder rentals, plus welding rod, wire, and consumables. Same-day delivery is always available. And if they don't have it, AWS Welding will find it for you fast. Visit their online store today at awswelding.ca or give them a call or text at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. They make it happen.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
You're in charge of ordering boxes. Small boxes, big boxes, really big boxes. You're in charge of tape, labels, mailers, bubble wrap, extra bubble wrap, just for fun. You're in charge of warehouse cleaning and safety supplies. Good thing there's Uline. Thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline makes it easy because you already do enough. Uline, we warehouse, for you.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
The Tom Gazzola Show. All gas, no brakes. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
7:21. Good morning. Smoky and rainy today in Edmonton. Weird mix, but we're going to get through it together. Tom Gazzola, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, and look who shows up. Cam Tate in the house here in studio. Text us 1-833-401-1440. We're going to talk Jays. We're going to talk a little Maple Leafs. We'll go to Toronto with Ben and his Sportsnet 590, The Fan, who's joining us on the phone as we dive right into it. Good morning, Ben. Hope you're doing well, man. And we're joking in our first segment on the show about the Jays, and leading up to the show, we were joking about the Jays. And man, oh man, the Jays are having a tough go. 7-1 yesterday. I know there was some hope coming out of the All-Star break with them only being a game or 2 games and a half back coming out of the All-Star break. But what's up with this team, in your opinion?
They're very bad at baseball, which is that's not good.
No.
When you are a baseball team, they look good. Uniforms look great, but yeah, no. As far as playing on the field, not so good. And I mean, it's. I try not to be so reductive, but it's hard not to. Well, one, it's the offense. They're now 30th in baseball in runs scored. So pretty obviously major issue. But if you want to even go further, I know this feels obvious, but it really does feel like a one-player problem for this team. It's one thing for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to have a down year. It's quite another for him to have such little production, to not have a single home run at Rogers Center this year. Like, we're almost to August now. The Blue Jays have played 100 games. They've played well over half their home schedule. He has not seen the home run display at his home ballpark here, as we're less than 2 weeks away from the trade deadline. Yeah, you can have your Dylan Cease be the American League starter for the All-Star game, and that's cool. And Louis Varland emerge as one of the best relievers in baseball, and yada, 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 yada. When your $500 million man is performing like a below replacement level player, it's just, it's not going to work.
No. I remember early in the season, maybe like 3 weeks in, one of the headlines was time to accept Vladimir Guerrero as a line drive hitter rather than a power home run hitter. And I was like, that is the stupidest headline I've ever seen in my life. And then yesterday after the game, I'm watching people talk about his launch angle. And when you change your launch angle, you're not going to get the towering home runs that he had. Like, is it as simple as that, or is he in his own head because of the contract, or is it a mix of things? Like, if you were to try to diagnose this, what would you say?
That's the $1 million question, or $500 million question, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I hadn't made peace with him being a line drive hitter, but go back to just last season, right? And we think about the October, which was unbelievable. He was the best hitter for a month against the best pitching in the sport, right up until the last possible second, like leads off the bottom of the 11th inning in Game 7 of the World Series against the eventual World Series MVP with a leadoff double. Like, he was just unstoppable start to finish in October. But during the regular season, he was kind of a typical Vlad type season, left it wanting a little bit more, right? Had 23 home runs, which we thought was like on the lower end of the spectrum, had an OPS in the mid 800s. But yeah, I don't know if you ever go to, like, Major League Baseball has this StatCast website, which has all these red bars where it's like expected batting average, expected slugging, and quality of contact. And those things were always full red for Vladdy, even when he wasn't having a 40 home run season. And that was the case last year. But what's happened this year is it's actually not that. He isn't this guy that's, oh man, hitting the ball super hard, just on the ground or line drives and not over the fence. Like, that has gone away as well, which is the most concerning thing. And then, so what do you attribute that? Is it the pressure of playing under a $500 million deal? Well, yeah, this is the first year of it, but he did sign it at the beginning of last season and had a normal season and his best ever postseason. This is nobody can crawl into his head. And maybe there is a fatigue thing playing into it where he played all the way through the end of October and then played in the World Baseball Classic to start the season. But if I was going to do the mental thing, I would point to the fact that he's the guy. And he's always been the guy, but it's like Vlad and company, right? It's Bo Bichette being one of the best RBI men in baseball last year. George Springer was the best hitter on this team last year. He was maybe the third best hitter in the American League. He was unbelievable start to finish. This is a guy who's been a World Series MVP and maybe had the best offensive season of his entire career last year. So if I had to guess at what's happening, if it is entirely mental, and it might impact and probably should impact how the Blue Jays build this thing out going forward, is that he can't be the guy. He can't be in the middle of this lineup and carry a team like an Aaron Judge and it hasn't happened this season because the Mets are just too bad, and Aaron Judge is injured, but Juan Soto, he can't be that guy. And if you ask him to be that guy without enough supporting cast, he honestly just feels like he tries too hard to be that guy. He needs more around him than the Blue Jays gave him this year.
Yeah. This is going to sound silly, but does he just miss Bo being around every day?
Yeah, I mean, that could be part of it, right? Say what you will about Bo Bichette, and he's not a perfect offensive player, and defensively obviously has his warts, but that guy hitting fourth worked for this team last year. And when there were ducks on the pond, they were coming around to score because he was coming up with big hits. And obviously hasn't worked out very well in Queens for him or anybody with the Mets this season. But $40 million will probably make that hurt a little less. But yeah, it's just, and who is that guy? And I guess we could have expected a bit of a regression from George Springer. Like I said, that was maybe the best year of his career. He's in his late 30s, the last year of his deal. You could have expected a step back, maybe not to this degree where he's having even a worse season than Vlad, not from a power perspective. But yeah, he hasn't been great. But yeah, it's just who is, if it's not Vlad on this team, who is it? All the star players have underperformed. And I know Alejandro Kirk missed a bunch of time with his broken thumb, but since he's gotten back, he hasn't been the same guy he was last year. Dalton Varsho is now, he's got an OPS under 700, and that guy's costing himself a ton of money because he's a pending free agent. Just all the stars on this team have decided, and it's a bad time to do it, to all just have one of the worst years of their careers. And that's the number one issue with this team. You can't score, you can't win unless you're the best pitching team in baseball. The Blue Jays are 30th in runs scored. You just can't win that way.
No. And Ben, this is the last one on Vladdy. I opened it up to the text line. This comes in from Jay in Victoria. It says, guys, is Vladdy becoming baseball's EP 40, Elias Pettersson 40? He was not good most of last year as well. How would you assess or analyze that comparison, Ben?
Well, so I think obviously if this is what he is, that's a nightmare, then yeah, he is an untradeable contract. But I think people were accepting of the idea that, yes, $500 million is probably too much for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but what he means to this franchise and where they go without him, it's a price worth paying, even if he is that guy who leaves a little bit on the meat on the bone because he doesn't hit 40 or 50 home runs, and the OPS is only in the mid-800s, and he's never the best hitter in baseball. But that's okay. We can live with it. But if this is it, it's disaster beyond belief. You have to believe, and because of the age of the player, and because of his history and his track record, and recent track record, you have to believe that this is just a one-off blip. But it's extended for so long that maybe just throw this season away. There is like proof of concept, though. It was never quite this bad, but in 2023, he had a sub 800 OPS as well. He did hit way more home runs than he's going to hit this season, but he bounced back in 2024 in a lost season for the Blue Jays. But for Vlad, it was a great season offensively. Hit 30 home runs, had an OPS over 900. So this is just maybe part of the mix of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is that, yeah, every once in a while you might get a really bad season, but he'll, no doubt we're going to get, after this year, the videos of him flipping the big tire over and best shape of his life type stuff. You just got to hope that like a redux of 2024 is in there in 2027, if there is a baseball season in 2027.
Oh, God, not more labor strife. I forgot about that. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, that's not great. Ben Ennis with us, host of the Fan Morning Show, Fan 590 out in Toronto. One last one on the Jays before we flip over to hockey a little bit. If you're the most optimistic Jays fan, should you still have hope for this team this season? I feel like I know your answer, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on it.
So to make predictions, we have to use the evidence that we have, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, sure, if everything's different and the Blue Jays are good, could they win 14 straight like the Red Sox have done? Sure. And actually, is the bar for offense pretty low? It is. I think the rotation's pretty good. I think Shane Bieber showed a lot in his first start after the break. Obviously, Dylan Cease gets touched up a little bit yesterday, but the defense was abominable behind him. Kevin Gossman, perfectly fine. I think Trey Savage with a nice bounce back as well. Like, I think the offense, the bar for offense is low, but they're limboing under it. Like, they're 30th in baseball in runs scored. So, yes, if everything we've seen for 100 games totally flips itself, which is possible, because talk to Red Sox fans, go back in your time machine and talk to them 15 games ago about how much of a disaster this season felt, and then how awesome this season has felt since, because they've won every single game for 2 straight weeks. Yeah, that is possible. It's not likely, and especially considering the sample we've got this season. But yes, in a world with limitless possibilities, with the pitching that they have and the bullpen that they have, if this offense stops being the absolute worst possible version of itself, of course, in a down American League, it's possible. But all of a sudden in this down American League where they were, only a couple of games out of playoff spot after the All-Star break, they're now 5.5 games back of that Red Sox team, which actually looks pretty good. And all of a sudden, oh my gosh, you're closer to the bottom of the American League than you are to a wild card spot. Yeah, it's hard to get your brain around to a bizarro world, which that would be the Blue Jays scoring enough runs to win a bunch of games.
Yeah, super disappointing if you're looking at it from a Jays point of view. And then it's always funny how it's either the Red Sox or the Yankees find a way to rally, and depending on the season. Here we're watching the Red Sox go on an absolute heater. All right, let's flip over, Ben, to hockey and some Edmonton-Toronto tie-ins. And after the schedule was released last week, Mike Babcock returns to Toronto for the first time as an opposition head coach. November, I believe it's 13th or 14th. How do you think that will go over?
Well, hopefully, and this is me putting spin on the ball, I guess, a little differently than Mitch Marner's return to Toronto, which actually, like, he somehow in the building got an ovation, shockingly so, saluted the crowd, but I don't think we're getting the same type of reaction from Mike Babcock. Obviously, it's a little different when you're talking about a head coach as opposed to a player in the game. Mm-hmm. I guess it's like, do they do video tributes for coaches, especially ones that departed with such little success as Mike Babcock had? I don't know. I can't believe he's back in the league. I can't believe that Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl wanted this, like actively wanted this to happen, considering the recent track record, considering the destruction that has been left in Mike Babcock's wake. It'll obviously be an absolute circus in the city, just like Mitch Marner's return was. Obviously, the Leafs' performance will dictate, I guess, the feeling of the fan base. But if we did learn something from the Mitch Marner return and the vitriol that many people thought he would receive and how awkward it would be in the building, is that, man, people make Toronto out to be this impossible place to play, and the media is so hard. It is so not, man. The reality of what it's like in that building with those fans, and the clientele thing for these games, it is not going to be difficult either in the run up to it with the media or in the building. I think if there's booze at all, it'll be kind of minimal. I think that we'll have plenty to say in the lead up to it, but I think the actual scene is probably going to underwhelm if people are expecting some explosion of anger from this fan base.
I would like to see an explosion of anger from anybody around that game, but that's just for my own twisted purposes, because I enjoy the carnage and destruction, especially when we don't have to deal with it here in Edmonton. But it is an Edmonton-related story, obviously. Okay, last one for you, Ben. What is the outlook for these Maple Leafs? I know they got McKenna. Lots of hope there. Very exciting. They picked up former Oiler Jack Roslovic. They shored up their goaltending with Bobrovsky. Like, is this a good team? They also picked up local product Darren Radish. Like, what is the hope for this team this season?
Yeah, I think we're back to playoffs. That's it. Like, it's to be back in a playoff spot. And I guess maybe you could have laughed out the idea of them being a Stanley Cup contender in the years prior to last year. But yeah, that was always the stated goal and the implied goal going into every year when you have a former Hart Trophy winner in Austin Matthews and all the even strength goals that he's scored. But yeah, I think it would be a successful season, and it's quite embarrassing to be talking about this like a decade into the Austin Matthews era, getting into the playoffs now, and then having the obviously disappointing postseason quote-unquote run, whether it gets to the furthest point they've ever been, which is the 7th game of the second round or not. It's baby steps again, considering how much of a nightmare it was last year. Austin Matthews looks closer to the best version of himself, playing alongside Gavin McKenna and Sergei Bobrovsky. Doesn't look like a 36-year-old coming off the worst year of his career, and they're in the playoffs even as a wild card. I think that'll be some degree of a success almost no matter what happens in the postseason.
Ben, I have to say, I've thoroughly enjoyed this breakdown of the Jays and the Maple Leafs and the Mike Babcock situation. I appreciate the time. Thanks for doing this. We're doing this again sometime soon. That's how good this was, in my opinion.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Cheers.
All right. There's Ben Ennis from Sportsnet 590, host of the morning show. I just enjoyed his sheer honesty, boys.
Great candor.
Great, very, very good with that. Yes. The candor, the no holding back, however you want to describe it and articulate it. That was a lot of fun. That was great. Ben Ennis from Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and a bunch of texts came in too, which is great. Here's Delta Valley Jeff with a couple says, I'd be willing to bet if Vladdy learned what a cardio bike and a nutritionist were, that alone would eliminate plenty of issues. Same for Kirk on the Jays. Now, I understand where Delta Valley Jeff is coming from, but Vladdy looks like he's thicker this year than he was the last year. Remember, he kind of leaned out a bit. This year, he's kind of gone back to a little bit bigger, heftier. Kirk has always been that way. And I don't know if... Kirk seems to make it work, right? He's all-star caliber when he's healthy. Vladdy, it has fluctuated. Maybe. I think it's more of a mental thing for Vladdy, but that's just an outside opinion. But maybe, like, some guys go into the gym and they rethink everything, like Vladdy did a year or two ago, and they get shredded, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see he was kind of back to where we saw him a few years ago, and it's not working for him this year. So I understand where Delta Valley Jeff's coming from. I get that point. Matt and Leduc says Vladdy can't be EP40. Vladdy can actually play defense. Touche. It's a good point. And then Heffy says, hello, TG. Which coaches have left the Jays from last year to this year? Don Mattingly for sure. Maybe that's why the Jays are so bad. Yeah, Mattingly had retired, and then very early in the season took on the interim managerial role with the Phillies, and they've had a good run. And I think his grandkid or one of his youngest kids encouraged him to keep going. I think he's got a kid that's only like 12 or so. And so he's kind of back in the game. I can't remember. Didn't they just fire a bench coach a few weeks ago, or did I not? Am I not remembering that correctly? Anyway, I know Mattingly was a big one, and he has a presence, obviously, a legend of the game. Those damn sideburns, as Mr. Burns put it. Trav from Hardesty says, don't they wear the guys a little heavier, or does everyone need to be ripped? I'm just reading that verbatim. Some guys, it works when they're heavier. I think that's what Trav is getting at. Don't they want the guys to be a little bit heavier? Thank you, Trav. Does everyone need to be ripped? No, they don't. They don't need to be ripped. But I was watching, they replayed the 93 World Series on Sportsnet over the weekend. Everybody, how juiced up was every single one of those players? There was one pitcher from the Phillies that was fat, but everybody else was jacked. And the roids would have been just flowing through those guys. In my opinion. Kent says, almost like Vladdy got 450 million reasons not to care as much. I hope that's not the case. I know what you're saying, Kent, but I hope that's not the case. And then Kevin says, if Vladdy can't even have the discipline to attempt an interview in English, what hope does he have to maintain a gym routine? And I think he's playing coy with that. Like, he speaks decent English, doesn't he, Brando?
Yeah.
He's, like,
I don't know if he is fluent, but he knows enough. Like, we've seen him do interviews in English. And so when it comes to like the post-game stuff or whatever around the Jays media, I don't know if it's just a matter of comfortability where he doesn't want to say the wrong thing by trying to do it in the moment. And so he'd prefer to use the translator, right? Like, to each their own. I can understand the frustration where he can speak English, but still prefers to do his interviews in Spanish. I don't know if that's something that really bothers you. I don't think, like, if you're worried about it, this mental state and how it's impacting his play on the field,
yeah,
throwing that another wrench into it, be like, oh yeah, by the way, now I need you to do all of the interviews in your second language. I don't think that's going to help. So I think there's bigger things to worry about than the language he does his interviews in.
I always wondered about that, though. I know he was born in Montreal. Obviously, his dad went to the Angels after that. Don't you think, like, he's a smart guy, I would assume. You would absorb the language, and I think I've heard him in short bits and pieces here and there speak English, and it sounded like he was pretty on the ball with it. But, yeah, I don't know how much that's affecting his performance, but if it's like an indicator to some of the personality, I kind of get where you're coming from. But I wouldn't put too much emphasis in it, but that's just me. Anyway. Luke in Cowtown, we'll end it with this text. Vlad just needs a big dumper moment.
Yeah, grand salami last night for the worst player on my fantasy baseball team with a bullet. First round pick, just terrible this year.
Ugh. Well, tough going for the Jays. Ben Ennis did not hold back. I thoroughly enjoyed that. We have to step out for a quick breather. When we come back, talk a little bit of World Cup. Tater's sending me some tidbits of info coming out of the World Cup, some interesting stuff. New FIFA rankings as well. You guys will tell you where Canada sits after a pretty nice performance at the World Cup, which wrapped up on Sunday. More on the way on the Gazzola Show, presented by Bet365.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's time to hit the greens. Elevate your golf game with Country Club Tour Golf Academy. No matter your experience, our PGA of Canada teaching pros are here to help. Enjoy lessons year-round between our 7 CCT golf courses and 2 state-of-the-art indoor facilities. Choose the location convenient for you. We offer private lessons, group lessons, expert club fittings, and junior camps. Visit our website to learn more and get ready to take your game to the next level. Booking is easy. Go to countryclubtour.com/golf academy and schedule your lesson today.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
Everything is going to be okay. If your debt has you feeling like you're in a free fall, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal allows you to eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we'll tackle your debt.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Showman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout for Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Hi, Edmonton. With summer adventures calling, there's no better way to answer than from behind the wheel of your Subaru WRX. The WRX delivers turbocharged performance, confidence-inspiring Subaru all-wheel drive, and the kind of driving excitement that makes you look for excuses to hit the road. Summer won't last forever, but the memories will. So make sure you give yourself something to remember. Visit your local Subaru dealer today and test drive the WRX yourself. Welcome to Uncommon.
The Tom Gazzola Show. 60% talent, 40% Swedish hair cream. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
$7.49. I'm ready to love you. That's our BA. quotient of the day?
You betcha.
All right.
I can tell you're already buying in, Tom.
I have no problem with it.
We're only, is this week 2? Or week 3? Week 3. See, time. You and I were just saying before the show started, I was looking over the calendar here on the wall with everybody's days off scheduled into it. And I was thinking, I can't believe it's already the third week of July.
But it's been good.
It's just been like, I think that's a good sign that, we're having fun and things are moving along, is that time has flown for the past few weeks. And then you're just getting warmed up to everybody, getting the feel of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're away next week.
I know. I had that.
You're really leaning into this. There was one thing that Kevin Karras was notorious for around here, Tom.
Tell me.
Days off.
Oh, well, I'm unfamiliar. Like this past weekend was my first like true weekend off, probably since Christmas or Easter.
Yeah.
Actually, Easter, that would have been a long weekend. There was an Oilers game the night before. I told you boys what happened that night. The ex and I broke up. We'll leave it there. But like true weekend wise, this was probably the first one since Christmas that I've had.
You're a very hardworking man, Tom, as was Kevin, and it's just it's a free shot.
No, I know you're trying to slay
to dig
me.
at someone, but
No.
But yeah, you're gonna be
Very ouch.
You're gonna be away next week for some well-deserved time away.
Oh, thanks.
You're going to run some hockey schools or something. You said?
I'm gonna go push pucks and help my buddy Keith out.
Yeah, just like you're the guy that collects them for the next drill.
Yeah,
piles them all up in the corner.
Yeah, I'm also the hype guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm also the babysitter.
Are you the hype guy for the coaches or the players?
Just everybody.
Okay.
Just I bring positive.
You just positive energy, positive attitude.
Yeah, listen,
it's infectious.
I get out there. I'll push pucks and help with some drills. Like, listen, you need to be learning from the best and the guys who are the best coaches that have played the highest levels. I can help kids correct the simple things and demonstrate briefly. I can shoot on goalies, and I can move pylons, cones, whatever around. I can tie skates. Like,
how old are these kids?
Well, anywhere from 6 to 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then there's off-ice stuff that I help with too. Like,
what's the age limit on a player you'll tie skates for?
Oh, if you're like 10 or 11 and you're asking me to tie your skates.
Really that old, hey?
Yeah, exactly. Then I'm saying no. It's time to learn.
Yeah. But no, I think that's very fair.
The little ones are, you got to help them out.
6 or 7. I would say maybe, because what are the divisions? Like it's all odd numbers, right? So U7 would be novice and U9 is Adam.
U9 would be novice. U7 would be, remember Tom Thumb?
Oh, yeah. We called it dynamite.
Okay, yeah.
But that'd be U5?
U5, I remember, was micromite when I was a kid.
Oh, geez. Okay, so maybe
we're talking the 80s here.
Totally out of whack.
No, but Tom Thumb, novice, Adam,
Pee-wee,
Bantam, midget, right?
Hockey, yeah.
Now it's
it'd be U18, 15, 13. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think U9 and below. Like, yeah. So I guess you're spot on. Once you hit 10, full stop, you're tying your own wheels.
I would hope so. And I encourage them, depending on how nice the kid is, I encourage them to tie their own skates. If they're a little annoying buggers and by day 4 or 5 of a camp, they can be, and they know how to needle you.
Mm-hmm.
I understand now why teachers get so angry.
Yeah.
I'll be like, you're doing it.
Oh,
you
man. I just, like, over the years, hanging out with, like, whether it be my friends' kids as they've started to grow up a little bit or in some family and things, I just think back to myself as a child. I was like, man, I was such a C word.
Oh.
I was such a little a-hole. And I regret some of the ways I behaved in school.
You know, it builds character.
For me or for the teachers?
For everybody.
It's an all-around learning process.
Yeah. What did Brandon do today? Well, he taught us a lesson in life. For himself? No, for everyone.
Yeah.
That's his impact.
Like we talked about yesterday, Tom, lifelong learning. That's all someone can strive for, I think.
Lifelong learning is important. Knowledge is power, as they say. I will also be away in August for another hockey school.
Unbelievable.
My other buddy's hockey school, which I usually do 3 weeks of, but this year I just pared it down to 1.
What week's that?
The 17th to 23rd, if I recall correctly.
Oh,
I had those booked off. Months in advance.
You're gone. When you're gone, you're gone, baby. There's nothing we're gonna do about it. But And because then as soon as you get back is when I am gone.
Oh,
for my annual week away.
Good. And well deserved, obviously. But this is the time because
100%.
When we get into September, like September, I think 11th or 12th rookies report for training camp. And main camp, I think, is the 16th for the Oilers. So we're going to be like right back into it. You got to enjoy the weeks that we have of the summer because we know summer's fleeting in this city and province. Got to make the most of it. So no qualms whatsoever. But yeah, I'll be away next week helping out at a hockey school. Enjoy doing that. Norman at Combine says, hopefully the whacked out mom has her kid in the camp again. No, Norm. No. And that was in Arizona 2 years ago. We had this crazy mom go berserk. Her kid was a problem. He was an issue all week long. And she was an issue all week long. And her kid picked a fight with 3 kids from New York. And the dad from New York was so cool. He was just like, oh, yeah, my kid runs his mouth and gets into trouble. And he gets beat up sometimes, and sometimes he beats kids up. But it was game day on the Friday, the last day of the camp, and we turned it into a big game. We give out a trophy, medals, all that good stuff. And this kid in the handshake line just starts wailing on the kid from New York. The kid from New York, when he recognized what was going on, turns it around and starts beating up the problem kid from the camp. And then the mom runs all the way over to the bench, yells at all of the coaches that were on the bench. I'm watching from the stands because I was helping with off ice that day. And then she runs into the locker room. And as the kids were going into the locker room, starts screaming at all the kids in the locker room. All of our camp instructors and the coaches run in there and they're like, and this is down in the States. I'm pretty sure we have to have a rule like this up here in Canada, but USA Hockey has a rule where like no single adult is allowed to be in a room with children alone, right? Because of all the crap that's happened, which is so disappointing over the years. So our guys are like, you can't be in here. And first of all, you're acting absolutely out of line. And she just went nuts on the guys. And so they shoot all the kids out. They close the door. And she ended up just tearing the room apart, throwing all their bags, sticks, equipment, clothes all over the place and just screaming her head off. And the kids were in the other room chanting, Karen, Karen, Karen. And this was the 6 to 9 group. So these were little kids and they recognized what was going on. So anyway, there's that. Thank you for allowing me to share a story with you all. Thank you, Norm, for bringing up that story and remembering it. But hopefully that doesn't happen. I did this camp last year. It was the first year of this camp. It's out at Silent Ice. And it was very well organized and run, and the kids were fantastic. I'm expecting the same thing next week. And when I go down to Calgary for that camp, it should be about the same. But yeah, that one in Arizona was absolutely ridiculous. And I'm sure there's some hockey parents or just parents out there with kids in other sports. I heard dancing can get bad, by the way, that are just like, I know that lady, or at least a very similar lady just like her. Maybe there's a guy out there too. There's some crazy ones out there. And yeah, I was blown away. But that was a whole new level of crazy for me. Anyway, we have to step out. We do have a sports update coming up with Brando. We do have spec coming up. Keep those texts coming in. 1-833-401-1440. Maybe you have a crazy story about a crazy parent in sports too. I like those. I'll be honest with you. Keep the expletives out. You can text them in, but I won't read them on the air. Let's get to a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand, high-quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with a Z. Here's Brando.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Toronto Blue Jays dropped their opener of the set to the Rays 7-1 last night from downtown Toronto. Dylan Cease gets batted around, giving up 7 hits over 6 innings of work and 5 runs, 3 of them earned as 3 errors plagued the Jays throughout the course of the night. Around the rest of the majors, the Yankees topped the Pirates 8-5. The Red Sox win a 14th in a row dramatic fashion over the Orioles 6-5. And the Seattle Mariners, they blanked the Reds, including a grand slam by Cal Raleigh Jr. 8-0. WCL action last night from Remax Field. The Riverhawks fall to the Kamloops North Paws 6-5 in the first of 3. And CFL off the field news. 37-year-old Sean Lemon reportedly signing on with the Toronto Argonauts. Lemon, a 3-time Grey Cup winner with 3 different teams. WNBA action yesterday, 4 games total, including the Toronto Tempo falling to the Aces 109-83 from Toronto. Coming up in hour 2 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector and Paul Sir from Hoop City. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, denim man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers, the next generation connects employers with motivated, pre-vetted youth through funded internships. Easy, impactful, and risk-free.
When you work with a group like Careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury's yelling, whisper back, leadingedgephysio.com, because life shouldn't hurt.
Mr. Rooter has deja vu. Mr. Rooter has deja vu.
The bathroom is right over there, Mr. Rooter.
Thank you, good sir. Wait, I swear I've plunged this toilet before. It was clogged with a snow globe. Am I living in a time loop? Oh, good. It's just a voodoo doll that looks exactly like me. Whew, what a relief.
For a plumbing experience you'll want to relive, call Mr. Rooter.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show. Oiler insider and Jersey aficionado. Edmonton's sports leader. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we're here to stay.
Hour number 2 on a Tuesday edition of the Tom Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365. We're going to be joined by Mark Spector for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Is employee pricing really a good deal? Yeah, it is. This month, shop at Northgate and you pay what they pay all month at northgategm.com. The one and only Mark Spector joining us this morning. Spec, how are you, sir?
Decimated. Watched the Cubs lose last night in extras. He had it in the bag at the bottom of the 9th, let it go, got crushed in the 10th. Didn't sleep well last night, Tom. Didn't sleep well.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Now, I mean, it could be worse. You could be a Blue Jays fan, and that's not good right now.
Yeah, man, they're just losing like crazy, hey? What is it with Tampa? Has there ever been a point in Toronto's history where they beat Tampa?
Tampa seems to have their number, don't they?
Like for
Like
40 years only, though.
that's it? Oh, not that long. Crazy. But yeah, we had Ben Ennis on here earlier, and he did not hold back on the Jays. And then we had a bunch of texts that came in asking about like Vladdy, and he's kind of gotten bigger this year. And I know he leaned out going into last year or 2 years ago, and trying to figure out why he's having such a terrible offensive season. There's other guys too that are struggling, but yeah, I guess if you're a Cubs fan, you don't have to really worry about it. I'm a Diamondbacks fan. I'm wearing the hat today. I'm a very casual Diamondbacks fan, and guess what? I'm not too worried about the Jays either. So, but for others, it is what it is, Spec. But if you need help and a
Is there like
reassuring
a crisis line?
yeah, for the Cubs fans, I'm sure there is one. So, or maybe you could just vent online, like I'm sure most people do. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, how dialed in do you get into the Cubs in the baseball season?
Not that much. Not that
No.
much. I watch a game when it's, I have the MLB channel so I can watch them here and there. If I'm sitting around, there's a ball game on. I put the Blue Jays on last night. They were losing. I was like, I'm sick of watching these guys. So I went over to the Cubs. It was a late start. They had the weather. So it was like instead of being the seventh inning, it was like the second. So I put the game on, watched the game, sat around, whatever I did. So it was nice. I don't know. It's nice to have a team to cheer for that you don't have to cover, that you don't have to try to remain objective.
Very true.
They're a fun
Very
team.
good.
They've got some good players. The Jays are killing me here. I'm also like I'll watch the Jays almost every day at 5:00 if they're worth watching, and they're on my TV a ton. But holy man, like when does it end here? What's how bad does Vladdy have to get before he gets good again?
Yeah. Well, that's the $450 million question, as people are saying. And I think it was who had it earlier. Jay, I think in the text line was comparing him to Elias Pettersson and his struggles and the big drop off, right? Like that's to bring it home to hockey. So, but
Yeah, I
there's
don't
other
think that's
yeah.
he's had one bad year. He did hit you to a World Series last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was very productive. He's always had a history of having bad starts, but he picks his game up. He finds his game. He was, unbelievable down the stretch last year. So Elias Pettersson, that's a little much, but you can't miss the whole season. Like in baseball, it's a long year. You have some runs. You're good. You're bad. We get that. But like, when does the good come? You can't be this bad for this long. Not as the highest paid player in the team and the offensive leader. He's absolutely, his performance is cratering the Blue Jays season right now.
Mm-hmm. That's true. You said something interesting, and I'm curious too. Like, I know you get to travel around and cover the Oilers and other sports. You've done that throughout your career, and I remember traveling around as well. Is that where your fandom for the Cubs came from? Is your first like taste of Chicago? Because I fell in love with Chicago. That was my first road trip with the Oilers. It was Calgary, Columbus, Chicago, and I became enamored with that city, Chicago. Is that how your fandom with the Cubs emanated?
Nah, I don't know. I grew up a Cubs fan. I'm not really sure why. They were terrible. My dad went to school there in like the 50s. Always told me stories about Chicago. I was always like, wow, that sounds like a great place. I don't know. I loved the Cubs long before that. My mom was a Dodgers fan, but I'm with you on Chicago. Like any of our listeners out there, there's some great trips. I mean, you can go in there and watch the Cubs or White Sox play, do some blues bars, have a steak, see some cool things. Chicago's got so much character. Like, I know this sounds goofy, but they have in that river that runs through Chicago, they have an architectural tour, and you get on this boat and you have a couple of beers, and the person tells you about all these buildings, and they all have these crazy stories behind them. It's a fascinating tour on a summer day, nice weather.
Yep.
You can go. I took my son there. We went to Cubs weren't in town, so we went to a White Sox game Friday. We drove down to Notre Dame, watched a football game Saturday. It's like a 90-minute drive. and then we watched the Bears game on Sunday. And that's
It has everything.
Yeah, that's as good a sports trip as you're going to have right there. It's a great, great city, one of the fantastic cities of the world, not just the States. I look for. I haven't been there for a while, but I do look forward to going there every time. Tommy, I'm like you. It's one of those cities still, like where you get off the plane and you got a little extra buzz. You're like, hey, man, I'm in Chicago. What are we doing tonight?
There's a million things that you could do in Chicago.
That's right.
And I remember flying in, and that's another thing too, Spec. We had a direct to Chicago and we lost it, I think, before COVID or right around COVID. But
Yep.
I remember flying in, and the flight path, you got to go over the lake and then swing back towards O'Hare to land. At least that was the flight path I remember. And you fly over, and I saw Wrigley, and there was a game happening. And then Comiskey, or whatever it's called now, there was also a game happening. And then I think there was even a football game happening. So you could see from up top, all three stadiums lit up, and all three of them pretty much packed. Maybe not the White Sox game, but
Sure.
it was so cool. And I remember you took us to a sports bar. We went to go watch a game. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was Harry Carey's, but there's some other sports bar. When I moved to my place, when I bought it, we got like towels from there they gave us, and I found it. And you said that you had gone there a bunch of times. You know which one I'm talking about? It's like it's an old sports bar, not far from Michigan Ave. Kind of smells like piss, so you know it's good.
Not Mother Hubbard's.
Mother Hubbard's.
Mother Hubbard's. Good
Yeah.
old sports bar on Hubbard Street.
Yeah.
There's a lot of uniqueness to Chicago. You know,
Mhm.
again, there's a little blues bar I go to on Clark called Blue Chicago, and their specialty is blues bands that are fronted by women. So like we don't in Canada, there's very few and they're far between. We don't get those big blues mamas that can belt it out, man, that lead a blues band, and they're awesome. And you can go in that bar any night of the week, and they've got a different band led by a different woman almost always playing. And I dig it. I was always a big Aretha Franklin fan. It's just a great place to go see the blues. Harry's is right there. There's restaurants all over the place.
Yep.
Anyway, just it's a killer place, man. It's very unique. I'm not big on America these days, as anyone who listens to this show can attest, and Americans too. But there's always going to be a place in my heart for Chicago. There's no doubt about that.
Awesome city. Spec joining us now on the mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. A couple of little like housekeeping things hockey-wise here, Spec. Bless you. Did you just sneeze?
No, just coughed. Sorry.
Oh, you coughed. Okay. Are you all right? Just checking. World Juniors coaching staff was announced. Ryan Getzlaff will be an assistant. And then former Oil Kings head coach Brad Lauer also an assistant. And they've got Misha Donskov coaching this team as well. A couple things out of that. Like Getzlaff, are you a little bit surprised that he's dipping his toe into coaching? And could he be a coach in the NHL soon? I'm sure that's the goal. And then having Misha Donskov coach our national teams and kind of us as a Canadian hockey nation, quote unquote, having one national coach, so to speak.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. Like we're taking a new approach. You know, they do that in other countries, and I don't know Misha at all, and I'm interested to meet him. He sounds like a really interesting cat. He's smart and innovative and has fresh new ideas, and probably sold Hockey Canada on this concept, and they bid. So I think that's cool. I don't know him, but I can't wait to meet him here this fall. Ryan Getzlaff is taking a non-traditional path here. Like, he got involved in hockey, at Hockey Canada at the higher levels, right? At the senior men's level, helping to put together world championship teams, things like that. He was involved in the World Cup, I believe, in the Olympic team. And now he's coming in as a coach at the U20 level. Like most guys who quit the game and say, I want to be a coach, that's what they do. Off they go, somewhere far away, or in some junior team, some assistants, maybe they get a start in the A or something like that, and they start their coaching journey in the traditional fashion, and they work their way up, like Brad Lauer, right? There's a guy played in the NHL, and then he's been coaching here in the Western League for a long time and earning his stripes and finding his way. And one day we'll see him in the NHL likely because he's a really smart guy.
Yep.
But Getsy is kind of, he's not signing on for, the 11-month 100-game season that most guys do. So I don't know where he wants to be. I don't know what Ryan Getzlaf's where his future lies. He is one of the modern players that made so much money that he probably can be as choosy as he wants. Right?
Yeah,
He's not that coach that's come, he's not like a guy like Rocky Thompson that bit around the edges of the hockey world and has now become a really successful, good coach. But he's more of a working man, Rocky. Like Rocky didn't make $120 million playing in the NHL, right?
Yep.
So I don't know where it heads for Getsy, but he's another good guy. I like him a lot. I've known him for years, and it should be fun this fall. The World Junior, Tommy, it kind of got weird around here, didn't it? With all the COVID and all the starts and restarts and cancellations, and we had it every year, but we kind of didn't get it every year, and it kind of got weird around here, and it needed to go away.
Yeah.
And I think now that it's back, I'm looking forward to it.
I was going to ask you about that because it was saturated here. What do we have? 3, and one of them ended like 4 or 5 days in. And
one
summer one.
Yeah, we had one in the summer that was just a bad idea.
Yep.
We did. We all got sick of hearing that the World Junior was back, but when are they playing it, and how are they playing it, and is it in a bubble again? And we got started. It looks great. Oh, it's over. Sorry, we had to quit. Like it was a train wreck around here. And you know what? I will say this: the Oilers organization and the people that bailed out Hockey Canada for all those years in Edmonton, they deserve a proper, traditional, normal World Junior like they're getting this year. People around the country might say, "Oh, Edmonton again, what's going on?" Yeah, Edmonton earned this one here, folks. Edmonton carried the water for Hockey Canada through all those tough seasons. And we and whoever, the stakeholders are here, mostly the Oilers, I think, they deserve a proper World Junior to sort of as a thank you for all those improper World Juniors we tried to host back in the COVID years.
Yeah. Do you think people will rally and flock to it? I think price dependent, obviously, but do you think it'll get good crowds?
I don't know. Like that's a very, are we still at the point where you could sell a World Junior out, in Edmonton without even trying? Are we still there? How much are tickets going to be? Knowing the Oilers, they won't be cheap.
Yep.
Oilers tickets themselves. How's that attendance going to do this year, Tom? What do you think? Are we still, do they just open the doors there and get 18.5? What do you think?
It feels like there's some fatigue out there. I'm sure, Spec, you hear from Oilers fans when you're out and about in the city. I know the thing that caught my attention the most and something that is new to me in my covering this team for 20 years now is older folks who, maybe in their late 50s, early 60s, maybe even 70s, who have the means and have the passion for the team that are just like, I'm out. I can't justify it anymore. And they've hit that threshold. And I've heard more of that this past offseason than I ever have before.
Yeah, it's kind of anecdotal, right? It depends who you run into, but I am the same. I've heard a lot of it. I think it's just the sheer weight of the check that you have to sign at the start of the year. And then that every time I bring clients to that game, it's a $750 bill or whatever it is.
Yep.
And the guys who get to the point in their life financially that they can afford that box or those seats, they're pretty good at math, right?
Yeah,
They're
generally.
pretty good at math. And you sit over that check and you go, okay, I'm signing the check for whatever it is I'm signing it for. And then I got 41 home dates, or now 42, times whatever I spend every night there. Holy man, it's big. It's big. Hockey's good. Like I'll say this, the Oilers give you a good team. They, we are blessed. All of us are blessed to turn on our TV or go to the rink or whatever and get to watch the team in the league that has McDavid and Draisaitl every single night. That's just until you watch 6 Columbus games in a row, right? Oh my God, you're so blessed to watch those guys. And that team, it's a fun team. They play the right way. They tend to win more than they lose. I watched last year too. I get it, but they're a good team. They make you believe every night they can win. Like, all of that's great. The Oilers deliver on that end of it. For sure they do. But the cost of it, I'll be interested to see how we do this year.
Very fair. I'm oddly curious as well. Spec, we're less than 2 months away before we start to find out about that. And also, I'll end the segment on this note. Ryan texted in that the direct flight to Chicago has returned. How about that?
I saw where it's back on like Wednesday and Saturday or something, but for the summer months.
That's it.
That's what I saw, a little ad for it. So it is back right now. Get down there, folks. It's worth taking, especially if there's a direct flight. I wish they'd leave it for the winter. That's, as a business traveler, entering the States into Chicago is, I mean, you get to O'Hare, you can get anywhere.
Oh man.
So it was a very valuable flight for us, and it hasn't been there. I hope it stays.
Me too. I'm with you. And great city. And maybe the Cubbies turn things around after that loss. That was heartbreaking for you.
That's only one game. I think they got 161 others.
Anything else in terms of the golf tournament tomorrow that you want to put out there?
I think I'm not sure if we were hoping to have people going live there tomorrow. I'm not sure where we are with that. Do we know about that, or is that happening? I'm not sure if that.
Brandon's.
Hey, tournaments tomorrow. We're going. It's going to be great. Let's hope it's not too smoky. The weather looks fine. Here's one for you. I'm at the Alberta Hockey Hall of Fame induction ceremony in Red Deer on Saturday night. I'm talking to Mel Davidson, the former head coach of our women's program and helped build that thing. She's like Brandon's cousin. Did you know that?
Know that.
No. Yeah, we had her on the show a couple times over the past few years. She's my dad's cousin.
You're related to her as well?
Oh yeah.
How about that?
Like Davidson is my grandma's maiden name.
Oh.
There you
go.
go.
Saying it like you're mad at me.
No, it's just like, well, the listeners of the show, I think Kevin and I talked about it whenever we would have her on. So I thought it was out there in the ether.
I didn't. I must have missed that show, but yeah, like of course Mel is Central Alberta, right? Grew up in places like Oyen.
Yes,
and but Davidson's a popular name. Like you never walk up to Davidson and say, "Oh, are you related to my buddy Brandon Davidson?" Like, no. But there you go. Who knew? You're part of hockey royalty, Brandon.
Yeah, it's pretty special. I mean, yeah, she's huge deal in Delburn. Like that's where her family's originally from. Then they kind of moved partly to Oyen, where she mostly grew up. But yeah, it was royalty in that neck of the woods for sure.
Yeah, there you go. Learn something new every day, Tommy.
And that's good, man. Hey, the more you learn, the better. That's something that I definitely believe in. Learned a little bit today on your segment, Spec. Always appreciate it. See you tomorrow in the morning, big boy.
All right, sounds good, man.
There you go. On the Mark with Mark Spector, powered by Northgate. This truck's for you. We got to step out for a quick breather. When we come back, a little B-ball talk with the one and only Paul Sir. Next on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
The Riverhawks' final regular season homestand is on deck this week. Catch the bobblehead giveaway, a 2K dance party, Margaritaville, and Wizards, Wands, and Magic Night. Don't miss the party. Tickets at gohawks.ca.
Summer weekends in Alberta mean one thing: tournament season.
I brought the folding chairs. I brought the sunscreen.
I brought the umbrella, just in case.
But who brought the snacks to get through a doubleheader?
I got Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
The ultimate sideline fuel. Whether you're cheering on the kids or watching the pros, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Showman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Legendary is here with BetMGM Casino. Download now to check out over 4,000 casino games, including exclusive slots like Survivor and hundreds of live dealer games. Unlock Vegas magic and sign up for the BetMGM app. See BetMGM.com for terms. 18 plus, Alberta only. Please play responsibly. Subject to eligibility requirements.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with the Alberta iGaming Corporation. Standard message and data rates may apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show.
The best of Edmonton sports talk
And beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
presented by Bet365.
Alberta, we're here to stay.
'26, we roll on here on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365. Paul Sir, ready to rock and roll, talk a little basketball. He is our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, draining clogged pipes like three-pointers. For all your plumbing needs, go to mrrooter.ca. Paul, ready to rock. Let's do it. Let's talk some b-ball. First of all, hello, Paul. Great to talk with you. Great to see you.
It's
Welcome
great to see
the
you,
show.
Tom. Okay, congratulations. To have you on with the Sports 1440 family is just fantastic. As much as we miss Carius, having you come in, wow, what a great addition, and you just bring it every day. So congratulations.
You are a gentleman and a scholar, and I always appreciate that. Thank you, Paul, very, very much. All right, let's dive in. Let's start, because there's a bunch of stuff. We should spread this around, like obviously Stingers, the NBA, and waiting for LeBron to make up his mind. We'll hit on that. We'll talk a little Raptors. And then even our men's national team, which came off a good FIBA Americas showing in that first leg there. So I know you're all over it. Why don't we keep it close to home to begin? The Stingers, they're at 8-11 right now, 1-4 in the last 5. They did win their last game, sitting 4th in the Western Conference, which is 4 games to go. Give us a synopsis of where they're at and what the outlook looks like for them in the CEBL.
The Stingers have been a bit enigmatic this season because I'm not sure that the talent that they have has quite come together yet, because I think they're better than their record talent-wise, because they have a number of guys that can really play. Early on in the season, they lost a couple of guys, that were impactful. That happens in this league. That's just the nature of a summer league. So I think if Jordan Baker and his staff can get this team hitting on all cylinders when the playoffs approach, Tom, I think they have a chance to be decent in the West. Now, and let's talk for a moment about the West. Winnipeg's the best team in the West. Xavier Moon is now starting to play with them. That's that's, as we all know in Edmonton, that's a big deal. So I think you have to look at Winnipeg as the clear-cut favorite right now in the West. Vancouver, who's been very strong last couple of years, lost their great coach, Kyle Julius. They've weakened up. Calgary's not very good. Saskatchewan's only mediocre. So, having said that, the Stingers have a chance to make some noise. But so far, I think they've been on the court a bit disjointed. But the games themselves, just like with the Riverhawks, what a great summer addition to the Edmonton sports scene to be able to go and have a great time at a very well-presented experience. Everybody that goes has a great time. So in that respect, they're fulfilling their mandate to be a great part of the summer entertainment community. but on the court, a bit uneven, a bit underwhelming, but I think they have the ability to do better as the playoffs approach.
Yeah, I am 100% with you. Anytime you get a chance to go to a Stingers game, you're leaving there entertained, and you're not having a hole burned in your wallet either. So that's an important thing, and I think people appreciate that. Now, they are in action today. They're in Saskatoon taking on the Mamba, and this is an opportunity
Worst name in the world.
Well-
next to another local sports team. But anyway, go on.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
No, I know.
They have a chance here against Saskatoon to leapfrog them, obviously. And Saskatoon's played one last game, but realistically, Paul, like should they be able to pick up a win here and string together back-to-back victories? And I know you mentioned they're a little bit disjointed and have been this season. That's kind of been the name of the game for them. But is this a prime opportunity? Do you like their chances going into this one?
You know, I do. And Tom, they're one of those teams, and you see that all the time across the whole sports spectrum. They're one of those teams that have a lot of woulda, shoulda, couldas on their schedule. They could easily be 11-8 because they have had opportunities to win close games, some of which they had a sizable lead that they somehow squandered away. So that's part of a team coming together. And one of the challenges in the CEBL is you have a short period of time bringing in a whole bunch of different players from all over the world, literally, and saying, now we're going to be a team. So that takes a lot of talent, a lot of hard work, and a bit of luck to find that chemistry in a season that's condensed like that. Long answer to a short question. Yeah, they should go into Saskatoon and they should get this W.
Taking a wider look at the league as a whole, I think we're into season 8 of the CEBL, and it seems to have the incremental growth has been nice. It seems like it's got a pretty respectable following. Where's the talent level, Paul? Is it starting to make a name for itself as a go-to summer league for a lot of guys? Like, I'm curious about that in the general landscape of basketball, if Canada is becoming a pretty viable option for a lot of guys.
You know, that's a great question. And I'm going to give you a bit of an uneven answer. Okay. Yes, but I think they have taken the league now. They had a big shakeup at the top level of the league in terms of management. Mike Morreale, who of course is no stranger to CFL fans, has been a dynamo in the building and development of the CEBL over the life of the league to this point. There was a parting of the ways with Mike and a couple of other key executives. I don't think they've quite found themselves at the league level. I don't feel that the league has the same kind of moxie and energy that literally Mike Morreale individually brought to the league. The reason I mention that, Tom, is because I look at the league as they've kind of leveled off this year. There was a switch from TSN to CBC for the broadcast. That's been a little bit, uneven. I think both parties are getting their bearings in terms of how they move forward on that. But having said that, the talent level is good. I don't think it's any better than it's been the last 2 or 3 years, but it's good. Certainly, it's entertaining basketball with good players, a lot of G League action coming to the north. And I think that's where the opportunity lies primarily. I think early on in this league, lots of Canadians coming in from all over the world. But I think it's kind of shifted because of the conflict in European leagues, for instance. Like we have our local guys, Ben Cricky, Ahir Guak, who we would love to have play locally, but their pro seasons go so long, it really doesn't allow them to be able to come back. So I think the league's made a name for itself. The fact that we're 8 years into it, thank God, this is wonderful. I hope with individual ownership now being the model as opposed to a single owner, which is how this league got started. As you know, Tom, in minor league sports, individual minor league pro sports owners are the smartest guys in the room. Just ask them. And you've got a lot of personalities. You've got a lot of people who think they know better. If they can continue to progress and move forward and not get fractured, I think the future bodes very well for the CEBL, because there's certainly an appetite across the country to have Canada's own professional minor basketball league.
Yeah, and it has turned into a wonderful product. The cohesion, like you said, is important, but you're right. You get some interesting personalities with some big bucks behind them, and they get some ideas, man, and they can go off and take things sideways in a hurry. Paul Sir joining us from Hoop City. He's our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter. Okay, let's dip into the NBA a bit here. I know we've got everything going on in the summer league with Vegas hosting as usual. But now everybody's talking about Portland and Tom Dundon, the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes, buying the Trailblazers, and they're trying to figure out what to do with Moda Center. I've been there. I thought it was a nice arena. It's like one of those mid-90s arenas, but needs a lot of love. And maybe they want to completely do a new one. Like, what's going on? Might the Trailblazers be relocated? I know Seattle wants a franchise, obviously. Vegas is in the mix now. They keep announcing, like, new sites for a new arena. Do you keep tabs on this type of thing? Like, where you at with this, Paul?
Well, the Holman, the owner, is a weird dude. Like,
he is.
He really is strange. Like, he runs it like a guy running a corner grocery store who doesn't have any money.
Did you see what he did to the Stanley Cup?
Pardon me?
Did you see what he did to the Stanley Cup?
No, I didn't.
He put 7 or 8 of his family members on the cup with their names instead of people that work for the team. So, yeah.
You can't. He's a weird guy, and sometimes there's weird and endearing, and sometimes there's weird and off-putting. He's weird and off-putting. He's a strange guy, and the fact that he puts out front how cheap he is, and the confrontational approach that he's taking with the city of Portland is concerning, because he seems like one of those guys, like the ownership in Vancouver or the ownership in Seattle. When they moved to Oklahoma City and Vancouver moved to Memphis, he seems like one of those guys who could pull a midnight run sometime and do something really strange. Like, he's almost setting the table to be able to justify some sort of radical move. God, I hope he doesn't. I sure as heck hope they're able to put a deal together to either revitalize or to build new and keep this great franchise in a great city. Yeah. But he seems like, again, like I said, Tom, who knows with this guy? He's a wingnut and he's a wild card in any other descriptor that you want to throw out there. But it's anything but a normal guy who really is supporting the community that he has his pro franchise in.
100%. Well said, Paul. And then the other interesting one, and this is ongoing and we know this, but LeBron, Adam Silver says, can he please make up his mind so we can lock down our dates for the schedule? Like, to me, I was like, wow. I mean, that's how much of an impact he has, that the league is waiting for him so they can figure out the schedule. What do you think about the LeBron situation where it's at right now?
LeBron's never had a spotlight he didn't like. I don't think he'll make the same. Well, actually, this is the senior citizen version of taking my talents to South Beach. Like, he's kind of holding on to this for as long as he can to get as much attention as he can. It seems like the front runners are Cleveland, Golden State, and Miami. It seems like that, but who knows? He's playing his cards pretty close to his vest. It's annoying in one respect, but on the other hand, you're talking about the guy who's done all the things that LeBron James has done. He's going to do what he's going to do and the way he's going to do it. Now, Adam, if I could send this message out to Mr. Silver, before you start worrying about LeBron and him rushing things, why not deal with the Kawhi Leonard situation?
Hello.
So Toronto would know whether or not they have this guy, and you've been dragging this investigation on. I mean, we're not talking about international espionage. We're not talking about splitting the atom, selling state secrets. We're talking about a guy who obviously got money he shouldn't have gotten in a way he shouldn't have gotten it. Who are the players? What are the penalties? And why would you allow a trade to move forward, sound like it's a done deal, and now say, you know what, we don't have this resolved, so we really can't go ahead and approve it? Yeah. Crappy league management on this situation. So, again, with all due respect, make your damn schedule. Don't worry about that as much. Make your best guess. You're going to be fine. But get the Kawhi situation dealt with. So Toronto Raptors the organization, but most importantly, the fans know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Brandon Ingram having to come back and play for Toronto this year when he was, so obviously not wanted here? This is just a really awkward, silly, unnecessary situation.
Yeah. And I mean, to add to it, Kawhi shows up in Vegas to watch the Raptors in the summer league too. And I'm like, oh.
Well, he was up in Toronto at Blue Jays games. I mean,
that's right.
The guy wants to be back in Toronto. I don't know if it's because it's another country and he felt like he could get away with something. I don't really know, but obviously he went back to his probably pinnacle part of his career, where he was the guy on an NBA championship team and wants to finish his career here.
Yeah.
Great player. Be nice to see it, but it'd be nice to see it resolved.
Yeah, exactly. Let's look at Canada on the international side of things. I know it was the FIBA Americas. That was the first leg that just wrapped up a couple weeks ago, right? And it was SGA leading the charge for our Canadian men's team, which is great. Where's the buy-in from all of our other talent NBA-wise when it comes to the national program, Paul?
Well, I think there's good. The way I would phrase it, Tom, is there's good, not great buy-in.
Okay.
There's a few people that I don't think are 100% in. And I think that's been certainly you can use Andrew Wiggins as an example over his career being very conditional on whether he would or he would not play. But the fact that you have the great SGA and Dylan Brooks, they kind of remind me of Kobe Bryant and Jason Kidd when the Redeem team was coming together and really determined to bring greatness back to the American program. It certainly seems like SGA falls into that category. The problem, there's two problems that I see, two obstacles. Let me put it that way. Number one, are they going to get Zach Edey and the right big guys? Because until they get better in the 5 spot, they're going to have a tough time because FIBA basketball doesn't have that stupid NBA 3-second defensive rule, which is one of the most repugnant rules in basketball for me. Like, it's a child's game, the way they force pivots not to be able to play in the paint. But in FIBA, that you don't do that. You have a 40-minute game and you got big horses in the middle knocking you around. Canada hasn't had that. So they need that in order to really be, I think, a true medal threat in the LA Olympics. So that's number one. Number two, though, this is sort of an odd comment, and it kind of ties into what Mark Spector was talking about earlier. Number two is Canada basketball has to get over itself. Stop hyping your team up when you beat somebody that's a weak team by 50. Start acting like you belong there. And I think like the way Edmonton bailed out Hockey Canada, I think what you've got players in the background that you have to be able to, let your results create your hype. Don't get your hype on really weak, baseless results. This is the time for Canada basketball to actually win something.
Yeah.
That's what they have to do. They have to win. And I don't give a rip what they do against Colombia. What are they going to do against Serbia, the U.S., when it really matters? France, all the other teams. They're right there. They are capable. But I sometimes think there's a mentality in the basketball community of almost an entitlement or an insecurity that, but get the big guys, get your personnel, and go win. And man, if they do that in LA, if they're on the podium in LA, it's a whole different ballgame. Then you can do all your cute social media posts. But until then, win.
Yeah.
And they've got the leadership to do it. Now galvanize the big guys, get them to buy in. And I think they have a real shot in 28 if those things fall into place to put Canada on the podium.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like we've got all the talent, but it doesn't come together. And it seems frustrating that this is the case. I think you summed it up really nicely, Paul. Hey, this was great. We ran out of time. We went really long because it was good content, as always, with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. And I look forward to doing this again soon.
Once again, Tom, congrats. It's great to have you on. And it's a real pleasure to be with you today. And I look forward to the next time we can talk.
Likewise. Thanks, Paul. Good to see you.
You too.
Go. There's Paul Sir, Hoop City, and you can catch him here on 1440. And that was our headliner of the day, Paul, knocking your plumbing problems out of the park. That's Mr. Reuter. betwaybetter.ca. We need to take a quick breather. When we come back, I was going to say Tater's got some stuff for me, but he said, don't say I'm sending you stuff. I just threw you under the bus, mister. Oh, yeah. We'll get to Cam and Eggs as well later on. And then hour number 3 starts with Austin Mock. This is the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, winning isn't everything. Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
It's the hard jobs that take know-how, expertise, and the right experience. And that's why, time and time again, GS Construction gets the call when it comes to the hard jobs. Underground projects that are genuinely difficult, like deep installs, tough ground conditions, or tight urban sites. So remember, when it's a hard job, the list gets short, and GS Construction is on it. Want to tackle the hard jobs? We're looking for experienced pipe layers and topmen. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself, signed and everything. You can't just wear it. I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Hurry in for hot summer savings at Wolf GMC Buick. Take advantage of 0% purchase financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 pickups. 0% purchase financing for 36 months on select new 2026 Sierra 2500 Denali and Denali Ultimate models. Plus, huge cash savings on GMC Sierra heavy-duty trucks. And ask about the $1,000 truck trade-in bonus and low-rate lease offers. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged, and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to RobertsonBodyWorks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
Hello, Edmonton. Did you know the Subaru Forester has earned an IIHS Top Safety Pick Award or higher for 20 years running? With advanced eyesight driver assist technology, 360-degree surround view monitor, driver-focused technology, and of course, the legendary Subaru symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, all working together. And it's available as a hybrid, delivering fuel efficiency as low as 6.8 liters per 100 kilometers. Visit your nearest Subaru dealer and test drive the Subaru Forester today. Welcome to Uncommon.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, Denim Man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365.
Alberta, we're here to stay.
Cruising along, toe tapping along. Good morning. It's the Tom Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365. Hope you're having a good day. I haven't had a chance to peek outside, but driving in, it was raining and smoky. Let me know if it's improved out there. I know we're expecting rain pretty much most of the day. Of course, Bet365. Check out Bet365's early payout for baseball. When your team goes up by 5 runs, you get paid out immediately. No stress about blowing a big lead. Download the app and see what early payout's all about. You could probably hit the early payout on Jays games if you bet against them. I'm sorry I went there. I'm sorry. My bad.
It's disappointing.
I know.
Last night, man, I feel like it's Groundhog Day because it would have been one of your first days on, Tom, or like it's just the things that are plaguing this team. Apart from the obvious where it's like your best player can't hit for power and whatever, like it's the complete opposite of what made them successful last year, where it's like play good defense, let the game come to you, manufacture runs, right? It's like through some small ball if the big dogs and the big bats aren't swinging as you want them to. And they're just incapable of doing 3 errors last night, several of them egregious, and by some of your better players. Right, like Andres Jimenez is a Gold Glove quality player at shortstop, and he essentially has the goocher run right between the legs out to the grass. Like, yeah, it's just that's what makes it more frustrating. And then you hear John Schneider's comments about like fans or people expecting him to like get mad and blow up. He's like, listen, we're just not getting the results. He's still happy with their process and all these things. And I don't know. There's a tipping point, and me, the eternal optimist Jays fan, I've faced some backlash from our texters about my commitment to them being a team that can push it down the stretch here. I'm wavering here big time. Like I'm just, we're only a couple series out of the All-Star break. And I'm just thinking, I was like, nope, they're the same team. It's only 2 weeks now of the trade deadline. I don't know if this team should be looking to add. I'm not saying you got to wholesale sell everything off, but probably at least a couple pieces.
Yeah.
And maybe the most prominent of those might be Kevin Gausman, because he's actually retained some of his value. He's pitched well at times this year. He will still probably fetch a good return as a starter, veteran, playoff experience, all checks all the boxes. And selfishly, I don't want him to trade Dalton Varsho. I haven't even worn the jersey I got yet. He's my favorite player. I hope he's still on the team when I head to Toronto in August. So I can rep probably. I just like he's just a ball player.
Yeah. He's a dog.
Does everything the right way, everything from just like running out ground balls. He plays unreal defense. Got a little pop in his bat. Yeah, the average isn't great and all that stuff, but I'm just a big fan of his as a player overall. So I hope he's still with the team and they can get an extension done, even if he ended up costing himself some money probably with the way he's played this year. I hope he's still here in August.
I'll tell you what, on MLB The Show 26 in the 2029 season, he is a valued member of the Arizona Diamondbacks. He drove in Tommy Gazzola yesterday for a couple of RBIs. Yeah, it was good. Matt, and this ties into what Matt and Leduc says, the Diamondbacks fan, just full of venom. Nicely done, Matt and Leduc.
How poisonous is a Diamondback?
I think it's a rattler, man. Like, I think it's
not its own
venomous.
Specific type of rattlesnake. It's just a rattlesnake.
Is it a? Yeah,
I'm looking this.
I'm pretty sure it's just a rattlesnake, and they kill stuff. But have you ever seen a roadrunner kill a rattlesnake?
They stomp on it?
Amazing. They stomp on it. They peck it. They will grab the head of the rattlesnake and they'll smash it against rocks or the ground. It's very fascinating. National Geographic has it in slow-mo.
A western diamondback rattlesnake is a rattlesnake species.
Oh.
So, member of the viper family, found in southwest United States and Mexico. No shocker there. It is likely responsible for the majority of snakebite fatalities in northern Mexico and the greatest number of snake bites in the United States. So, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
You don't want to tussle.
No bueno, as they say down there.
Oh, good time, Tom. I didn't realize you were so cultured.
My Spanish is improving.
Español.
Ah, sí, senor. There are a lot of texts that have come in today. Keep them coming in. 1-833-401-1440. I see West End Rob. I want to get to some of these texts a little bit later on. Cal in the Park. What's up, Cal in the Park? Good to hear from you. Some of it has to do with like price point and this and that when it comes to this upcoming hockey season. We're talking with Spec about the World Juniors returning again to Edmonton and Red Deer, by the way. I have to point out that Red Deer is in the mix. And then I like this. Titan says, Chicago is an awesome city. Yes, it is. So keep those texts coming in. Hop in on the conversation. We will get to a bunch. Cam Tate is in studio as well. We're going to get to Cam and Eggs. He's working on some stuff. I think he wants to talk about the Jays. So a little teaser there for you for Cam and Eggs. And then coming up next, we're going to talk NFL and a little bit of World Cup too, because Austin Mock from The Athletic was all over the final and was not afraid to share his opinions via X. So I'm going to ask him about that, and then we'll dive into NFL stuff because training camps are just about here, and we're ready to rock for that. This is the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365. And, of course, we need to get to a sports update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies and Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton, your one-stop shop for all things welding. AWSwelding.ca. Here is Brandon.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Toronto Blue Jays dropped the first of 4 against the Rays, 7-1 last night from Rogers Center. Dylan Cease gets batted around, giving up 3 earned runs, 7 hits over 6 innings of work. Errors plaguing the Jays with 3 on the scorecard to open up the series. Elsewhere around the major leagues, the Yankees top the Pirates 8-5. Boston wins a 14th straight. This one's 6-5 dramatic fashion over the Orioles from Fenway Park. The Mariners blanked the Reds 8-0. That included a grand slam from Cal Raleigh Jr. And the White Sox continue to stay hot with a 10-3 win over Texas. WCL action last night from Remax Field. The Riverhawks fall to the North Paws 6-5. They'll do it again tonight from downtown Edmonton. And from the CFL off the field, Sean Lemon agreeing to a deal to join the Toronto Argonauts. 37-year-old defensive lineman, 3-time Grey Cup champion with 3 different teams. And finally, from the WNBA, 4 games last night, including the Toronto Tempo falling to the Aces 109-83. Coming up in hour 3 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll be joined by Austin Mock from The Athletic covering the NFL. And we'll hear today's edition of Cam and Eggs. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it.
Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Greger for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
This summer, cheer on your favorite teams at Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge. Never a bad seat in the house with tons of big screens. Plus, Sully's Big League menu has it all. Small bites and big bites, game day food and drink features, something for everyone. From the gridiron to the diamond, this is the place to catch all the action all summer long. Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Every day is game day at Century Casino.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
On this Tuesday here on the Tom Gazzola Show on Sports 1440. Glad to have you with us. Join the conversation, 1-833-401-1440. You can watch us on YouTube, of course. Check us out, Sports 1440 AM. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, all that stuff. We're building up the YouTube side, which is great. And then we're also available on, obviously, the AM dial, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. Basically, any platform you can get Sports 1440 on there. Tom Gazzola, Brandon Douglas, and Josh Fenwick, along with Cam Tate in studio today. And we're joined and pleased to be joined by Austin Mock from The Athletic. And we're going to go across the football landscape. And we'll start with footy because Austin was all in on the final on Sunday. And first of all, good morning, Austin. Thanks for hopping on today. Really appreciate it. And we watched Spain celebrate in Madrid the glorious championship, the World Cup, once again, their third. And you were all over the game, like I mentioned. What did you make of the World Cup as a whole? And then we can dive into the final.
Yeah, I mean, the World Cup, I as someone who's not like a regular soccer watcher, the World Cup is, I just think it's like kind of everything that you kind of want sports to be about. It has like Olympic vibes to it, obviously, with the countries playing for it. But it does introduce, definitely like North America, where soccer is not as, not the dominant sport, like the side of why it's so good. And like this tournament was nuts in terms of like the late goals. So it was like kind of like everything you'd want from a viewership standpoint as a fan. So I loved it. I always find myself kind of rooting for the smaller countries to upset one of the bigger ones that have the more history. But I loved it. It was a fantastic. I love it every 4 years. It's definitely something I look forward to when it's a World Cup year.
Yeah, me too. And the fact that it was on North American soil was really cool. How do you think we as hosts did Canada, Mexico, and of course the U.S.?
I thought it was good. I thought the atmospheres were good. It's always tough for me to like not being there. Like I don't know how like getting into games and all of that went, but just from a like the big worry that I had definitely with some of the domes was the grass going to be good enough and playing surface? But it seemed like every game looked pretty awesome. Like it wasn't we've seen football games, American football games where the grass doesn't hold up. So credit to those groundkeepers. I thought it was a good event. I thought the stadiums were good. They were always packed. I thought the atmospheres were good. So from that standpoint, I think it was a pretty well done job by the three host countries in North America.
What was cool, fascinating. I'm a stadium geek, and I love how they maintain the pitch in the dome stadiums. I know a lot of them had retractable roofs at BC Place here in Canada on the West Coast in Vancouver. They brought in the lights that they had on like rollers. And I think in, was it Texas or maybe it was in LA, they hung the growing lights from the ceiling, and the technology is amazing. And the way that they can maintain a pitch in an indoor facility is pretty neat. But let's bring it into Sunday's game and the final. Your thoughts on Spain's victory over Argentina, where Argentina really looked like it was on its back foot the entire match?
Yeah, I mean, Spain was, dominant throughout the whole tournament. One goal conceded. If you followed like the expected goals, I think they gave up like 0.1 expected goals per game. Just insane amount of dominance. And kind of, Spain kind of drifted there, but like going back to the 2010 World Cup that they won, like that's kind of been their MO, is like, we're going to possess the ball. You're never going to have it. And, Argentina, Messi's awesome. Obviously he's older, but they're not exactly the team that I think thrives against a team that is going to possess the ball like that and not allow them, because they don't have the speed to break out. And I think we saw that play out. I think, they ended up getting two shots all in extra time. And I think it might've been after they went down 1-0. So pure dominance. I'm not a World Cup historian, but that has to be one of the more dominant, maybe not final score wise, but one of the more dominant World Cup finals that we've seen.
Yeah, they were pretty damn thorough throughout the entire tournament. Austin Mock joining us now. Let's talk about the football that I love more than the one we just witnessed throughout North America. Training camps right around the corner here. What are the storylines you're keeping tabs on the most right now, Austin?
Yeah, I think the easiest one that I'm just kind of waiting to hear is Aaron Donald and the Rams, if that's going to ever materialize. It's been rumored ever since they made the trade for Myles Garrett. That's just, I think most people, if not all, the Rams are the consensus top team.
Yeah.
And they added Myles Garrett, and that defensive line is seen as really good. And then it's like, oh, hey, let's add this like sure first ballot Hall of Famer back, even though he's been out of the league for a couple of years in retirement. So that's kind of the first one. But some smaller, like I'm interested, the Fernando Mendoza kind of timeline and what we're going to get with him. The Raiders, it seems like they're content with being a little, patient with him, which I think would be smart. Their schedule's pretty brutal in the middle of the stretch. And then going to New York, the Giants, Jackson Dart, can he stay healthy and can he hit kind of their ceiling? I think John Harbaugh is a floor raiser for any organization. I think he raised the floor of the Giants. I think Jackson Dart's going to be the key to if they can hit that ceiling. And with an injury-riddled rookie season, where he's got to show that he can stay healthy. So those are the big three that I'd say that I'm looking at as we head towards the season in training camp.
Okay, quickly on the Giants, Cam Sketabo, is he like the league's new weirdo?
I feel like, I don't know if it's like a New York thing. The media coverage is different. He's having fun. I can't hate on him for that. I'm not someone who's like worried about the backflip. It would have been nice if he landed it, of course, but just that one was on video, right? Like what are the other 99% of NFL players doing in their free time that doesn't get on video? So I'm not super worried about it. I think if anything kind of shows it's healthy, it's there. If I was his agent or something, would I advise him to be doing that type of stunts and stuff? Probably not, but I'm not like, hey, this guy's, reckless or anything like that. I think that's a little bit too much for a guy who's just having some fun.
Yeah. Now with Mendoza in Vegas and watching this organization, I know, you can go back to the Oakland days and listen, Al Davis, and then now Mark Davis, who has the weirdest haircut I've ever seen in my life. And I feel like he's probably just equally as weird as his haircut. But is this organization going to figure it out? Because it seemed like everything was in place infrastructure wise to have success in Vegas. The facilities look great. Obviously, the stadium's awesome. There's some talented players that have gone through there the last handful of years. But there's always like a mess off the field. Like with Tom Brady coming on board on ownership side of things, like, are they going to right the ship now, in your opinion?
Yeah, I like the moves they've done. John Svitek, the GM, I think has been saying the right things and making the right moves. I thought their draft was good in April. I think their process, Tyler Lindenbaum, they probably paid a little bit too much for him. But again, they had the worst offensive line in football last year, and they immediately addressed an issue. So I like that. And that definitely, when you have the number 1 overall pick, you need an offensive line who's going to be able to not have your quarterback terrified to drop back and throw the ball in the NFL. So I think they're making the right moves. I think you'll see, like, obviously a lot's going to, hinge on if Fernando Mendoza turns out to be a good quarterback or not. But like I said, the rest of their draft was good. If it does work out and we see a little bit of progress from Fernando Mendoza, this is a super heavy quarterback draft as it stands right now for 2027. They don't need one. And so there's also this guy like Jeremiah Smith who's there. So like that would work out perfectly for them as well. So I don't know if it's going to work. It's the NFL. Things are hard, but I do think that they're making the right moves where I think, hey, like I could see this being successful. Other times it's like, I don't know what the heck they're doing with their draft class and whatnot. I think they're making the right moves. So that gives me optimism that this could be figured out. If with a lot hanging on, if Fernando Mendoza can figure it out as a quarterback.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny that turmoil off the field always seems to surround them even go back to the Oakland days, but off the field in Vegas certainly has been an issue. Austin Mock joining us now from The Athletic, covering the NFL as we get set for training camps, getting underway right away here. Now we talk about the Rams. I think, like you said earlier, most improved team, or by and large, by everyone's account. But which teams, Austin, do you think did a nice bit of work in the offseason to improve that might sneak up on us as fans of the game this season?
Yeah, I want to say kind of the Chargers were that team for me. But when they signed Mike McDaniel, I don't know if they really flew under the radar or anything. But I do think they're a team with Joe Alt last year on the field. They were a top 10 offense. And I don't know if people remember that Rashawn Slater got hurt in training camp and missed the entire season. So he was seen as one of the best offensive tackles in football. So I think when you bring in like a good offensive coordinator, Mike McDaniel, you're going to get 2 healthy tackles, hopefully. And that's an offense that can really go there and really shape up. The second team that I want to say is kind of flying under the radar, which is shocking to me because they've, had tons of success the last 5 years or so, I think are the Eagles. Wow. Jalen Hurts, the offense was kind of broken last year. It didn't work out. They trade away A.J. Brown. I feel like everybody's kind of low on them. I still think they're the best roster in the NFC East. They made a change at offensive coordinator. I think, that's one thing that I think Nick Sirianni has done well is when he thinks there needs to be a fix, he makes a coaching change. He doesn't give one more year. And if there's any bounce back from Jalen Hurts and the offense, Lane Johnson went out last year. They really struggled without him. They get him back healthy. Maybe it looks a little bit better. The defense, though, is still awesome. They traded for Jonathan Grenard. I think their front seven's great. Their secondary might be the best in the league. So it's just another one of those things where, like, the Cowboys have questions on defense.
Yep.
The Commanders have questions on defense. The Giants, I think, are probably a year away from really, really making a lot of noise. I still think the Eagles are the team to beat in the NFC East, and it wouldn't shock me to see their offense kind of figured out and be an above average unit and that be a Super Bowl contender.
Austin, if I asked you if Enigma was a good way to describe the Bengals, what would you say? Because it feels like they're the team that's almost but not quite year after year after year. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, they've also had some like poor injury luck. I feel like Joe Burrow's had this like nagging little tiny things here and there that have kind of derailed some things. The defense has been horrid though, and Now they trade for Dexter Lawrence. That's a big thing. Like they're again, it's kind of like the making the right moves thing. That's the move. Like, okay, hey, we need to help out. And I don't know if people realize it, but the second half of the year last year, the defense was playing better. They weren't a good unit, but they weren't like the 35 points per game unit that they were in the first half of the year. So they do seem like they're just right there. Like maybe Dexter Lawrence having an absolute star on the interior of the defensive line. I know Trey Hendrickson's gone, but I wonder like if they can just slowly make steps forward to just because the offense is so good that they just need like an average defense, and they're such a problem. And they just need Joe Burrow to stay healthy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does kind of seem like they're so close, but they just really haven't been able to put it all together. When so much went right for them the year that they went to the Super Bowl, with everything kind of working out for them, they really just haven't been able to put it all together since then.
Yeah, I think that sums it up better than how I described it. Maybe enigma wasn't the right term for the Bengals, but another team that people I think are tired of talking about, but I think they're worthy of some attention is the Chiefs. And what kind of team are we looking at this year? And what kind of Patrick Mahomes are we going to see coming off that knee surgery? This is a team that gets a lot of attention, obviously. Are they going to take a step back?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The Mahomes is where it has to start. Because he's so good with his legs. What's made him good, especially last year because the offensive line struggled, but throughout his career, is his ability to keep plays alive, move around the pocket. He's not exactly a runner per se, but his legs are just so vital to his process. So that's like the first and foremost most important thing. If he's not healthy, then things can get rough. But again, teams addressing needs. The Chiefs have not been able to find explosives in the run game the last handful of years. They've been at the bottom of the league in explosive run rate for the last couple of years, and that's despite facing the lightest box of any team in the NFL. They go out and get Kenneth Walker, who I think is probably a little overrated coming off his Super Bowl run with the Seahawks. But one thing that he's been able to do is find explosives his whole career. So that I like that pairing. So I think they did make some strides there. The Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, can those guys figure it out? I think Worthy got injured last year and it kind of derailed the season. I'm interested to see what he looks like. But there's a lot of question marks. It's not hey, this is going to be an 11-win team. There's they traded away McDuffie on the defense. They have concern. Chris Jones is getting older, so there are some concerns. But I do think the offense is on track to be pretty good again. So I maybe the defense takes a step back. Spags is pretty good, but I am a believer in the offense and kind of buying low on them, if you will.
Okay. And then one more team that I'm curious to get your thoughts on, and this is in the NFC West. Montana to Rice will appreciate that. I'm sure he's going to text in shortly, but where do the 49ers fall in this division, if anything? Are they competing with the Rams and the Seahawks, or is it just not there when it comes to sheer talent? How do you look at the 49ers? And I know health was an issue for them last year.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing for me is the health. Losing Bosa and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on Warner, their linebacker. They're losing both of them is just two absolute studs at both of those positions is just killers. So I'm a believer. I think they can contend. It wouldn't shock me. Like Seattle lost a lot of pieces on defense. My full belief they lost Klint Kubiak, who was like the only offensive coaching candidate. He was a great offensive mind. So I can see Seattle like kind of taking a step back, and maybe even San Fran kind of going a little bit past them. So I think Kyle Shanahan's great. I think the offensive ecosystem's awesome. I know the George Kittle injury is something to watch there, but I've seen enough from Kyle Shanahan over the years that like the offense is going to be pretty good. And so if you get Bosa and Warner back healthy, I think there's enough there on defense to where those guys can hold it down. And again, I don't want to say it's kind of like the Bengals, but it's like, hey, this offense is going to be really good. And if the defense is just like anything average or better, that's going to be a team that's like, planning to go deep into January, making a run in the playoffs. So I am a believer in the 49ers. I do think that they can make some noise and surprise some people. Shanahan and McVay, these battles have always been close. So I don't think they're like light years away from each other with the Rams. So I do think they're, I'd say I'm a little bit more bullish than Seattle. I'd say, which might surprise some people.
That's okay, man. I like it. And a healthy smattering of NFL discussion today, and we kind of spread it out across the league, which I like to do as we get set for another season, which is right around the corner. Austin, thanks for the time today, man. Thanks for the insight. Appreciate it, and we'll catch up with you, I'm sure, throughout the season.
Yeah, thanks so much. I appreciate you having me. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
There's Austin Mock from The Athletic covering the NFL. Great stuff from him. Check him out on X. He even launched his own YouTube channel where he's got some breakdowns. I think he did what did he do? He had the AFC West. He did a nice video on, and the NFC North. And I don't think they're too long. You know how some people, they'll create, like, even some reporters will create their own channels, and it's like a deep dive where you look at the length of the video and it's like half an hour. And I'm like, I don't know. I just want like a 10-minute synopsis. I think that's kind of more his style. So check him out. Austin Mock from The Athletic covering the NFL. Great stuff from him. We do need to get to break. When we come back, we will dive into some texts. There's some good stuff that came in via the text line in regard to like price point and going to games and all that. And I know that's kind of it's a lightning rod for discussion, but rightly so. Right? I mean, you're working your ass off to make money, and then your favorite team is pulling as much of it out of your wallet as it can. So a lot of people with some reaction to an earlier conversation. We'll get into that and more right here on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365.
Recently, our company softball team lost a big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Want home ice advantage for your window coverings? Novo Blinds provides factory direct pricing and the fastest turnaround in the city for homeowners, builders, and commercial projects. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchek here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
Ready to upgrade your ride this spring? Come on down to the Golf Cart People. They're a family-owned and operated business that's been serving the community since '97. Whether you're looking for a brand new or quality pre-owned cart, a rental for a special event, they do that too. The Golf Cart People have a huge selection of parts and accessories, and their expert service team is here to keep you rolling. The Golf Cart People, your one-stop shop for everything golf cart. Visit golfcartpeople.com.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Showman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
Alberta, this one's for you. Around here, trust takes a few winters. It's why players have known Jackpot City since 1998. Home to hundreds of exciting casino games, live dealer action, and new adventures waiting to be discovered. Jackpot City, nothing beats the original. Please play responsibly, 18 years or older, Alberta only.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
I want it.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
$25. Good morning. Shoopa-doop. Shoopa-doop indeed. A little salt and pepper for you. It is apparently still sunny and smoky on the drive. Westlock to Barhead, says Buck 75. The AM signal more clean and reliable than the data plan. Huh. Don't hear that very often. But that's good. As long as you can hear us loud and clear. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm going to read some text, guys, after we had Austin Mock on, and then we'll get into the hockey stuff. I'm going to start with this one to set the tone. It's from Hot Salsa, who is a hot little tamale right now. Expletive MTR and expletive the 49ers and expletive the Seahawks. Signed Hot Salsa. That one was picante. See what I did there? Yeah, you like that. I know. Making you guffaw. And then Rhino the Boilermaker. Is Murray the QB with the Vikings? Yep. Kyler Murray is with the Vikings. Triple C says, I liked Austin Mock. This guy knows what he's talking about. Yep. And you said it, Brando. Like, he's a little bit of everything. He does the deep dive into analytics of the game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got I'll just, to make it as simple as possible, I'll just tell you, like, his Twitter bio reads like, the game isn't played on a spreadsheet, but it helps to have one. So he's kind of that nice blend of he knows all the numbers, he's got all the analytics about what they tell us and how we can use them, but then he's like, listen, this isn't the whole story. You still gotta watch the game. There's played on the field, not inside the pages. So I'm a big fan of his reading his stuff and checking in with him throughout the course of an NFL campaign. So he's for some of our newer listeners, he's a regular. We check in with him pretty frequently over the NFL season.
He was good. I really like that. Was my first interaction with Austin. I thought he was fantastic. I look forward to having him on here a lot more during the football season. Okay, Montana to Rice, mixing it up. It says hot salsa. What's he got? I'm not going to read it the way he put it. I don't want to start like a war of words via the text line. But
Tom, come on. The rivalries that exist amongst some of our texters, the most prominent of which on this show anyway is probably Montana to Rice.
Yeah.
Noted Niners fan, Triple C in a truck, very verbal and vocal Eagles fan. Couple NFC teams that have squared off a couple different times in playoffs and whatnot.
Yeah.
They do not see eye to eye on many things.
Shocking. As a fan of a team in the NFC West that has no leg to stand on, I will stay out of this one. Let's go to Bad Niv. Hashtag Bad Niv says, not a chance that the 49ers are better than the Seahawks this year. Seattle didn't lose that many pieces on defense to make it matter, and they have a better running back in Price now.
It's an interesting take. Going with the rookie is always dicey, especially considering Charbonnet is probably going to miss at least the beginning of the year. I think at least a week or two likely. So it's a lot to put on the shoulders of first-year player.
That is true. That is very true. Okay. We're having the discussion about Price at sporting events and games, and there was a bunch of texts that came in earlier, and I said I would get to them. So, alas, here's our chance to do so. Let's start with West End Rob. West End Rob says, hey, Tom, I fit that demographic you had described earlier, over 50, 20-year season seat holder until canceling this spring. I felt more exploited by the Oilers than appreciated by the constant money grab, especially at playoff time. They have alienated a part of their base, and they will regret after the draw of 97 and 29 are gone. The value is no longer there. This team has become very arrogant to its season seat base. That's from West End Rob. And then I saw one from Cal in the Park. says, who can afford anything at Rogers in this economy, especially if they're jacking up beer prices? I'll sit at home and enjoy. Or, Cal Park's known to go to a watch party or two as well. Hammer says, just like Oilers tickets, the World Junior tickets are out of reach for the average fan. And I'm curious about this too. I haven't looked at the price point of World Junior tickets. I know it was a sticking point the last time around, but like Spec was talking about earlier, just really weird circumstances around the World Juniors here the last couple of times. And I would assume, knowing Hockey Canada, in conjunction with OEG, they probably weren't giving you a great deal or bargain, if you will. You're probably paying a healthy amount for the ticket packages. So Hammer, I have not seen the ticket package prices. I do remember last time around, there were people who were not too happy with them. That would have been 4 years ago, 2022. That was the summer of 2022 when we had it in the summer, which was very bizarre. I do recollect the games that weren't premium games that had like 50 people in the stands at Rogers, and they were doing like a full-on game presentation, everything, and there was nobody there. It was bizarre. I don't know if they're trying to like recoup money or what, but yeah, there is a certain expectation from Hockey Canada, OEG, Flames, if they ever or when they host again, when they have it in the new building, obviously. Same with the Canucks. Like whoever gets the games probably expects to make a huge amount of money, especially North American cities hosting. This one from Bad Captain says Oilers' biggest price issue is playoff tickets. Ridiculous, the price point. Yep. It's hard. It's hard, man. Like, I know I have friends that have done well, right? They've done very well with their money, and they can afford premium seats. And even they were getting fed up. A friend of mine has club seats. Okay, perfect seats on the broadcast side, right on an aisle. Very close to getting into the Coventry Homes section. And he loves the Oilers. And this is a guy that's like late 50s, early 60s. Loves the Oilers. Very proud to be a season seat holder. You go to his place, decked out in Oilers stuff, like many people in and around Northern Alberta. And even he said, I can't justify $35,000 this spring, as much as I love them. And he dipped out on the playoff tickets. So it's hard. It really is. Terry chiming in says Hockey Canada needs to replenish its. No, I'm not going there, Terry. Oh, that made me laugh. I'll leave that one. Let's see here. This is Just Jesse says, same here and agree with the posters that have texted in. I had very good club seats for years, canceled them for last season simply due to the obvious price gouging. Yeah. And listen, like, I have friends at OEG. I'm thankful I get to cover the games. I appreciate it, but it gets to a certain point where it's like, is it worth it? Can you give up that much more money and sacrifice other things? And I think a lot of people are starting to get to, no, we cannot. And we're starting to see that. So maybe the Oilers get creative. I know they branched off into like ticket packs again last year. And like you could split mini packs, I think, too, Brando. So it's always going to raise discussion. But yeah, we were talking about the World Juniors, how this all ties in. And people obviously want to be very aware of their buck and how far it goes and how much you can spend on entertainment, how much you can spend on the necessities to maintain your life and take care of those in your family. Maybe you have kids. It's tough, man. Those are tough decisions. Like the pleasure and joy of the Oilers or another team that you love. I know some people have NFL season seats and they travel and they're fortunate enough to have that. But when it doesn't add up dollar and cents wise, you dip out. Just Jesse also adds, we're huge Blue Jays fans. We travel to a different city every year to catch Blue Jays games. See? And you compare the value you get going to a ball game versus the crap you get with club seats and club lounge access, the food, the pricing. It's just not even in the same realm of how good a ball game is. And I know what you're saying, Just Jesse. I'm curious to know which cities you've gone to and which ball games you've gone to. It is really easy. Now, we have to compare. It is really easy when a team has 81 home games and a ballpark has roughly 40,000 to 45,000 seats in it. You can get in pretty good for a decent price. And then once you get into the ballpark, that's when you get hit with, a beer's $14, $15, probably more now in the US. And then it's on top of that US dollar. The food generally is still pretty expensive at ball games. But there are games you can find great deals. Like you can do like hot dog specials at certain games, or there's an item of the day. The Atlanta Falcons were applauded for dropping concession prices at their new stadium a few years ago, and they had success with it. They kind of found the right formula. So you can do it. It's a matter of willingness, and the Falcons were one of the teams that decided to do that. Jesse follows up with, we just got back from San Diego 2 weeks ago, went to Denver, Colorado, and before San Francisco the year before. That's just some as an example. So California is not cheap. Denver, I don't think is particularly cheap, but if you're getting better bang for your buck, you feel good about it, and you were getting that down there, then that's awesome. Chad chiming in says, took over my family seats 5 years ago. They're up over 50% since I started playoff tickets. Up 4 times. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Brando, what do you think?
It's expensive, man.
It is,
like
man.
There's no other way to slice it. That everything from the price to get in and then everything inside, it is in today's environment, like as we live and breathe in 2026 with everything from south of the border impacting, supply chain issues and on, like it's expensive to go out. And if you're talking about trying to take your kids to the game, and when you got kids, it's a little bit more difficult. Like you usually got to try and find them something to eat over the course of a 3.5 hour hockey game. And if you want to treat yourself to even just a soda or maybe a beer, we know that's $20. Like it's insanely costly. And for so many people, there's no doubt in my mind that it is crossed that. You talk about that threshold where it's like, all right, we just like we're the sacrifices we make to justify this, like they're not enough anymore. We need to try and cut more. It's like, or we just cut this and spend this money elsewhere and can probably stretch that dollar to go a little bit further in terms of entertainment value around the city, outside the city. Like what you're spending on Oilers season tickets and what you spend to go to however many games a year. Can you take a family vacation for that instead?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you absolutely can, right? So it's unfortunate. And the reality is, I don't think the Oilers are ever going to be in any immediate danger of not selling out Rogers on a game-to-game basis. Doesn't matter if it's Columbus on a Tuesday night or taking on Colorado on a hockey night in Canada Saturday evening affair. Like the building's still going to be full. We know the environment in the building can kind of ebb and flow and wane a little bit at times when things aren't going the home club's way. Listen, that's sports for you. So it always seems like in a market this crazy, in this hockey crazy, they're always going to be the next person in line willing to pick up the mantle and pick up the torch. But I wonder how long does that go if other things don't change externally, like for just the common man.
Yeah,
the cost of living and everything. Will that eventually start to pinch a team like the Oilers at the gate and at the box office?
Logically, you think yes. Now, where that level is, maybe we're hitting it. Almost there, maybe. Couple texts to wrap up this segment. We have In or Out coming next with Brandon. Huss says, Tommy, concert prices have also gone through the roof. Tough to take the family all out to a show. That, I believe, as well, Husks. Good point. And then new texter, new number, awesome, Says, had club seats for 7 years. I gave them up. And I know people that have club seats are like super proud of it. It's not inexpensive to have club seats. So yeah, that's, you stick with it for a while. And at some point you go, can I justify this? And when you say no, it's maybe time to give them up. And that's what we're starting to hear a little bit of. Let's wrap it up with Just Jesse, who provided some context and some information and then adds this. Just Jesse says, just for one more comparable, Denver, Colorado, super cheap to go to a ball game. California, correct, is not cheap at all. But if you look at what I spent for club seats over the last couple of years with the oil, going to game sevens, it cost over $70,000 between regular seats and playoff seats. That's a lot of money to spend to go to ball games. We just don't have season seats and pick the games you want to go to. So yeah, the $70,000 for Oilers it's a lot, man. And there's people that spend more. There's obviously people that spend less. You can go to a lot of baseball for that amount of money. You can go on a lot of family trips for that amount of money. So when you kind of put context to it like that, you go, geez. To each their own. If you got the money and you want to spend it and it's important to you, go for it. If you enjoy it, you love it, go for it. You want to support the team, 100%. But it gets tough, and your dollar doesn't stretch as far as it used to, and you got to be smart about it. So it's an interesting conversation. It's one that always pops up, and I have time for it. That's for sure. All right, we got to step up. When we come back, it will be In or Out with Brandon as we cruise along here on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365 here on Sports 1440.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, winning isn't everything. Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Founded by a former pro motorsports competitor, Evolve Wheels and Tires brings decades of experience in custom wheels, lowering kits, lift kits, and accessories. Visit Evolve Wheels and Tires in West Edmonton, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride, evolve your experience.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Showman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, wow, great hair transplant. I want them to think,
wow, great hair.
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, winning isn't everything. Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show. Oiler insider and Jersey aficionado. Edmonton's sports leader. Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Presented by Bet365.
Alberta, we're here to stay.
$9:45. Happy Tuesday. I see it's cloudy. Brando, you said the Elks had to move the practice indoors today.
That is the latest note from communications director. Don't know if that's his official title. Mike Curie sent the note out to the group chat saying they're headed into the field house.
You know that the air conditions are bad when the Elks go indoors. Mark Killam, as he so eloquently puts it, football's played outside, brother. And I know he prefers to be out in the elements, whether it's at Clark Stadium or on the field at Commonwealth. So,
because the practice was originally scheduled to be at Clark today anyway. Is there something happening?
I think there's a concert
tonight.
I saw.
Oh, is it?
I think they're getting ready for the concert.
Is it Post Malone this week?
It might be, yeah. Because the trucks were rolling into Commonwealth a couple of days ago that were getting ready to lay down the.
Yeah, July 25th.
Yeah.
Post Malone and Jelly Roll.
So the Elks are at Clark Stadium.
24th and 25th. 2 shows.
Yes.
So there you go.
There you go. Post Malone.
I will not be going.
You know what? I don't mind Post Malone.
I like Post Malone a lot.
I don't know Jelly Roll that well.
He's a bit of an acquired taste. He's not my cup of tea. But Post Malone, I can just appreciate Post Malone as an artist.
Yeah.
Because he can kind of do it all. Like the Beer Bongs and Bentley's album from, what was that, like 2016? Top to bottom, man, it's one of the best records I've ever heard. And then he comes back last year, just full 24 country songs on a double album. And most of those are pretty good too. If,
good artist,
depending on your taste. Yeah, he's just talented guy.
Yeah. Weird.
Bit of an odd cat.
I watched him.
Huge Cowboys fan.
Yes. Remember his T-shirt when he performed at AT&T Stadium? I think it said, "I just hope both teams have fun." I respect that. Jokes like that.
Sportsmanship.
Triple C says 2 artists who started out rapping, now doing country. Wow. But I think that speaks to their versatility and ability as artists, that they can tap into 2 different genres. So I've got time for that.
And at the same time, hey, you go where the money is.
That's a great point. That is a great point. By the way, we need to get to In or Out with Brandon. Brought to you by Pro Solutions. Need fast AC service? Pro Solutions offers expert repairs, tune-ups, and installs with flexible financing. Book your appointment now at ProSolutionsInc.ca.
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
Pretty quiet out there on the sporting world. Obviously, MLB season back in full swing, deadline coming up, CFL, NFL training camps, but the NHL side of things, particularly quiet. Off-season front, a couple big-name RFAs still remaining unsigned. Jason Robertson, Cutter Gauthier, maybe headlining the list. Columbus has got a couple players, including a hearing arbitration upcoming in just a couple days with goaltender Jet Greaves, should they not come to terms. But a guy that will not have an arbitration hearing, Adam Fantilli, just finishing his entry-level contract, is in need of a new deal. The former 3rd overall pick has had himself a pretty good progression 82 games each of the past 2 seasons, scoring 31 and 24 goals, upping his point total from 54 to 59 from year 2 to year 3. If I'm the Columbus Blue Jackets, I'm willing to match Connor Bedard's $15 million AAV, but only if it comes on a max term 7 or 8 year deal instead of the 5 that Bedard signed in Chicago.
I see and recognize the scenario and the potential that could play out, but I'll go out. I feel like Columbus will try to get him on a more reasonable price point. Not 15, Brandon, but maybe like hey, how about 12? And he goes, how about 14? And they go, how about 12 and a half? And he goes, how about 13? And they go, how about 12.75? And maybe they try to max out the years and he goes, yep, that's okay. Now he doesn't have, listen, when you're in Columbus, it feels like it's just a disadvantage. You don't get the love or notoriety around the National Hockey League, basically compared to any other player in any other market, right? Like you could be just a standout all-star, Rick Nash-esque, Panarin-esque, and it just never catches everyone's attention in Columbus. So maybe that's why I look at Fantilli and go, well, the numbers are really damn strong, and the progression, like you outlined, is pretty good too. But no, I don't think he's a $15 million a year player like Bedard. But Bedard has, I think, more high-end potential. Now, Fantilli could be a 100-point player at some point.
I was in love with Fantilli in his draft year. Like, as a Ducks fan, they were picking second overall. I haven't watched Fantilli played underage at the juniors that previous winter.
Mm-hmm.
And at the start, I was like, what is this guy doing? He's trying to play like a first-line player on the fourth line. And then, like, after it was like a couple games, then he totally changed, and he just committed himself to being a fourth-line player on the World Junior team, and just went out there and energy, physicality, and he's got the high-end skill that we saw at Michigan, right, in his season there. I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has flown under the radar in Columbus, where he didn't get off to the quite as hot of a start. He didn't have the circus following him like Bedard did. Leo Carlson with his game management and was a little bit more productive in his first year. I think got some more of the headlines. But you look at it, like he's 30 goal scorer already, just shy of that last year, but did improve his overall point totals. And that's on pretty subpar pedestrian level Columbus teams. Like a supporting cast, not very good.
Yep.
I think if you're Columbus and you're looking at how many other players have walked out the door past you, stars wise over the years, you need to like try and turn this ship around to being perennially competitive and win a playoff series for the second time in franchise history. This is your premier player. So you do what everyone else is doing. You forecast, you hope, you predict, and you say, this is the cornerstone. He's 6'2", 190, 205 is what he's listed at, a correction. Plays down the middle. I'm like, I can see if you want a smaller number, Tom, 12 and a half or 13 million bucks. I just can't see a world where they're signing him to more than like 4 or 5 years on that deal.
And then maybe it costs them even more.
And then it's going to cost you more down the road. I think you bite the bullet. You got the room. You pay him 15 mil, but make it a max term deal.
I'll stay out, but I could see where that situation does unfold. Kenneth chimes in, says 59 points, 15 mil. What's Marchenko getting? 20 million? I see you, Kenneth. All right.
It's an interesting. Columbus got some, because Cole Sillinger's their other guy as well on the RFA market. And then, of course, their goaltender, Jet Greaves, who seems to be their guy of the future, but maybe even Team Canada's guy of the future if he can continue trending in the right direction.
Hey.
Over to an off-season topic. We christened this with Laddie on Thursday, starting with the hometown Edmonton Oilers. A little off-season banter for breaking down each NHL team's Mount Rushmore of the team's history. I was about to say players, but we already kind of scratched that off with Laddie's little Glenn Sather inclusion on the Oilers Mount Rushmore last week. So we'll just stick with the franchise rather than the players on those franchises. Let's jump over to the left coast and talk Vancouver Canucks inside the Pacific Division. I think the first two are obvious with the Sedin twins, Daniel and Henrik, franchise leaders in games played, points, pretty much down the list, every single statistical category. But after that, I think there's a little bit more debate. I am going to include Roberto Luongo for the heights he reached during his tenure as a Canuck. And then similar vein of thought, doesn't have the tenure as maybe some others, but the electricity, the individual success. Give me Pavel Bure as the fourth and final inclusion for the Canucks Mount Rushmore.
Okay, those are all like worthy. I'll go out on this one as well. Really, the only guy I would probably exclude is Roberto Luongo.
Really?
But you're right. Like he was he was their team captain, which was
crazy.
He had the C on his mask, which was kind of neat because you can't really have a goalie as a captain in the NHL. But I think Trevor Linden would probably get some consideration here.
Yeah.
Marcus Naslund
yeah,
would be another one. And then, like, you know how Laddie brought Glenn Sather into the mix last week? Do you look at Pat Quinn maybe in this situation? But
I have a harder time going coaching or management with they've never won. Right?
I know,
like
and
Sather's the architect of 5 Stanley Cups.
Right.
I think that definitely earns the consideration on the Oilers front. I don't see the same type of figure in Vancouver.
Yeah.
With all due respect to the guys that have coached there and had a ton of success, none of them won a Stanley Cup, for one thing.
No. Yeah, exactly. I just think Trevor Linden, with his longevity, what he's contributed to the organization, I know it didn't really end, or his tenure didn't end particularly great, but he was so beloved there, returned to finish out his career there. I think he would probably be in there. And I shout out to Stan Smeel.
Yes.
But again, like, I think he retired when I was a fresh bébé, as they say. So I don't really have a great reference point to what Stan Smeel was as a Canuck, but from all accounts, he was beloved there and a great player. So I'll just be in on that, or out, pardon me. And the only guy I'm taking out would be Roberto Luongo.
But you're in with Bure.
Yes. Oh man, he was,
because he's kind of unique in this because he is down. He's played less games for the organization than Brendan Morrison, Kevin Bieksa. It's a long list. Like his star burned pretty short,
but it was
very
bright.
brightly. Scored 60 a couple times. He's 5th on the all-time goals list for the organization.
Yeah.
9th in points, if I'm correct. Yeah. So that's all great. But when he was at his best, he was one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
So I thought there'd be more pushback on that than Luongo, but Luongo's interesting because he played less games for the organization than Kirk McLean, won less playoff games than Kirk McLean, played less playoff games than Kirk McLean, and that's just among the goalies. So the second 2 spots I think are up for grabs. I think Linden is the obvious first name in, but then Marcus Naslund. I mean, the captain, the centerpiece of the West Coast Express, with him and Bertuzzi. Just on that line was, it was among the very best in the league. So Vancouver, a little bit richer history than maybe at first impression and with some of their players.
Brando, I'm starting to think maybe I'm selling Luongo a bit short here, but I'll stick with my answer.
To Luongo, it's just like he was the best goalie in the league, and he nearly single-handedly won them a Stanley Cup. I remember when they lost to the Ducks in 2007 in the second round, and I think that was Luongo's first or second year with the team. He was the best goalie I'd ever seen at that time.
He was outstanding.
Like he was just that good compared to everyone else in the league. Once again, doesn't come away with any hardware, unfortunately, as a team perspective, which no Canuck has. So it's tough to fault him on that front because Game 7 of the Cup final, it's as close as you can get. Over to basketball, we had Paul Sir on earlier in the show talking some NBA offseason storylines. And the number one storyline is, of course, the continued wait for LeBron James, the decision part 2, 3, depending how you want to phrase it, maybe. Power ranking, the order of what are currently considered the most likely landing spots in descending order, starting at number 1. I'm still sticking with a reunion in Cleveland and the Cavaliers. Tops my list, then Miami. And I don't know, I'm just not sold on this idea of him going to Golden State. I don't love that potential outcome. So I'll put it at number 3 on my list.
Okay, I'll just say this. Because I have no clue what LeBron's going to do, and I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious what Fenny thinks on this one. And the Golden State thing, I'll add this before Fenny chimes in. It feels like it's people trying to will it into reality.
Steve Kerr himself said it when he was caught, like some guy driving beside him in traffic, and Steve Kerr's like, "Oh yeah, we got him."
When he was just BSing the guy.
Yeah, for sure, right? Just playing along, but
Fenny,
it's got where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a lot of smoke around him linking up with the Warriors.
Maybe.
I'm out, I think Golden State is hotter. That it should be higher up. I think Miami still goes further down to the bottom because, yes, even though they have Bam Adebayo, who scored 83 points in an NBA game, just so everyone knows.
Never forget.
It's second most behind Wilt Chamberlain's 100.
Allegedly.
Alleged 100. I don't mind Cleveland. I think Golden State's probably the top of the list. Like, he and Draymond are really good friends. Obviously, if you go on the internet, it's just like Draymond sucking LeBron James off.
Pardon me.
Oh my God, this is a family show.
No, it's not. Maybe it's homerish of me, but to think maybe if the Raptors, this Kawhi Leonard thing gets sorted out sooner rather than later, which it's not going to happen. But
you want the Clippers?
No.
Oh.
the Raptors with Kawhi Leonard, I think that would be an enticing place for LeBron to go.
That'd be insane.
It'd be crazy. But if he wants to go to a place to win, why not? They're right there.
With
Kawhi Leonard, they'd be right there.
They become like the East is so muddled. I think it's kind of up for anybody.
But other than that, like, he hates the Celtics with like a fiery, burning passion. But I think Golden State should be higher on there.
I don't like Golden State. Like, it almost just takes us back to the Durant thing when he loses to him and then he just joins up and wins. Like, what does that add to your legacy?
They haven't won anything in 3-4 years now, so maybe there's
turns out
there's
having
less of
Kevin
that.
Durant made their team better. Shocker.
Evidently,
he's the best scorer in the league.
I could throw some analytics at you that say he technically didn't, but
interesting. I want this just to finish, and not for the same reason Adam Silver does, so he can make a schedule. I just want to have him pick a team so then we can dissect it and criticize it.
Of course,
on that front,
as one does.
Over to the gridiron. Started our NFL previews yesterday with the defending champion Seattle Seahawks, hoping to try and make our way through the rest of the NFC West as this week progresses. Tough to do so. Tough to get some guests out of a few of these markets, but we'll persevere on. I put NFC North on here. I meant NFC West because we're talking Seahawks.
You didn't even have to admit
the
that.
NFC West appears to again be one of the league's very best divisions, but I think the Seahawks finished third. I think they're probably still a playoff team or very much in the mix to be a playoff team, but I think the Niners and the Rams are better.
I'll go out on that one. I'll give the defending champs a little bit of respect and say they hang in there. Well, I think the consensus is LA is better than everybody, essentially, especially after the moves they've made. And if Aaron Donald comes back too. So I say they finish second. Sorry, Montana to Rice. Niners third. Clearly the Cardinals fourth. Could things change? Yes. In football, we know how devastating certain injuries can be to a team and its outlook. But I will give the Seahawks the benefit of the doubt and say that they, at worst, finish second in the NFC West.
I think that's probably fair. They're the defending champs. They deserve that level of clout, as you said, the benefit of the doubt. But a couple pieces they lose on defense. Yes, they take another safety, Bud Clark, in the second round. But to me, it really is like on the run game with Jadarian Price expected to essentially shoulder the load here while Charbonnet returns from injury. And even still, like, Charbonnet worked great as the tandem back with Walker, but Walker was still, I think, pretty clearly RB1. And I'm not saying he's a premier bell cow or a game changer like Gibbs or Robinson or any of these guys, but he clearly worked with the system. Now to ask a rookie to come in and just take up that mantle, I think is a lot to ask of him. And I'm a big Jadarian Price fan.
Was the bell cow reference a 4-H thing?
Like, is that where that comes from?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I don't know 4-H specifically, but probably like you've got your best cow.
Yeah.
I'd be interested. What's the origin
Where
of
does
that
that come
expression?
from? I thought, well,
the other day out at the bar, I explained somebody the origin of the term the whole 9 yards, which is not football related, but it's kind of become so. I think Josh is we have our best man on cracking the etymology of the expression bell cow.
Your vernacular continues to impress me.
We will we'll turn our attention to number 5, and I'm sure Josh will want to weigh in on this because he's the only one among us that has seen the film that has taken the world by storm. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey premiered in Canada on Friday. It's one of the most anticipated movies of the year. It is, according to most reports so far, living up to the hype as a blockbuster classic. Greek mythology, big passion of mine, never-ending web of stories and legend. The best Greek hero from myth. It's not Odysseus. It's good. Give me Perseus, the demigod, son of Zeus, slayed the Gorgon Medusa, married Andromeda, took her back to his homeland, made her his queen. Perseus is great.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Tom?
Wow, I am learning more about you every day. And I did not know you were a student of Greek mythology. I perhaps should brush up on mine. But
can you name, like, there's some obvious ones. Did you see the movie Troy with Brad Pitt?
Bits and pieces.
Okay, so the titular character, well, not titular, but the main character, Achilles, demigod as well, son of Thetis, the river nymph. He's impenetrable. He's dipped in the river Styx. The only part that stays out of the water where his mom holds on to him is his ankle. That's how he eventually dies. Hercules, or Heracles as his Greek name is more appropriately done.
No, that guy. Was Poseidon one of those?
Well, he's a Greek god.
He's
the god of the sea.
Uh-huh.
Very important on Odysseus' journey back to Ithaca. He's kind of his bane. He doesn't like him.
Yeah, no, I'm learning every day with you.
Well, Tom, tell you what, I'll send you some literature, and you can brush up on your Greek mythology.
Thank you.
And if you got some spare time, you can enroll in Classics 102 at the University of Alberta. I took it as a night class, Wednesday night, 6 to 9.
Jeez, I don't think I'd get in.
My only A+. Josh, you're very impassioned as I was typing this out.
Yeah, well, listen, Perseus is pretty chalk. I mean,
what?
I get that.
That's the opposite of chalk. Everyone goes for the big names. Achilles, Hercules, Odysseus.
Perseus has more things made about him in media than I would say most people. The Odyssey is all of these stories are made constantly. Greek mythology is a big part of the Chinese buffet of media. It's a whole thing I learned in school. But no, it's Achilles. He's number one. Achilles.
Where does Newt fall into this category? Do
Who?
you remember
Who
Newt?
the hell is Newt?
Newt?
There used to be a Hercules cartoon.
Oh. I can't say I recall.
He had
Is
a
Newt
sidekick
the
named
satyr? Like voiced by Danny DeVito?
No,
in the movie?
that's Philoctetes.
He's a
there we go.
centaur, but he's like a young centaur.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I cannot this is from the Hercules animated show on like the Disney Channel.
This is before that. This is probably from like the 60s or 70s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember. Hey, Herc.
All right.
The only one I know is Chiron, who famously trained Achilles.
Trained heroes.
Many heroes, including Achilles.
Okay. Well, we learned something.
Perseus is a fraud. He killed Medusa with 3 gifts from gods.
Nerd alert.
Josh and I will take this argument off air. Maybe we need a separate.
You guys do whatever you
We need
need
a
to
separate
do.
YouTube channel to duke this out
Sure.
because I don't have enough time. On air to shut down all of Josh's petty arguments.
Also, the expression bell cow comes from a cow with a bell around its neck that has followed up a mountain. It is presumed the cow will take the easiest path up and around the ascending terrain, hence the trackers for most efficient path.
Well, all right. Thank you.
Via answers.com.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing your reference. Tater's like, we need Cam and eggs. And I agree with him. We're going to take a quick break here. A Sports 1440 update with Brandon, brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. Here's Brando.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Toronto Blue Jays continue their set at home tonight against the Rays. Kevin Gosman taking the bump. Drew Rasmussen countering for Tampa. First pitch just after 5 o'clock. Catch that game right here on Sports 1440. Joined in progress at the conclusion of the Jason Gregor Show. Elsewhere, Yankees hosting the Pirates. Orioles and Red Sox duke it out from Fenway. Boston look for a 15th consecutive win in Boston. And in the nightcap, Mariners continue their series against the Reds from Seattle. Remax Field tonight, Riverhawks game 2 of 3 against Kamloops. First pitch just after 7 o'clock. And in the CEBL, the Stingers on the road in Saskatoon, taking on the Mamba. Tip-off at 7:30. Coming up in hour 4 of the Tom Gazzola Show, we'll hear today's edition of Cam and Eggs and be joined by Connor Halley from The Frenzy. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
You've hauled a 2-bedroom trailer over mountain passes on a cross-country road trip. But today, you just need that epic towing strength to bring the mower over to Mom's. Toyota Tundra. Power for all your hauls. It's time to Toyota. Lease a 2026 Tundra 4x4 double cab SR5 from $145 weekly for 60 months at 4.49% APR with $8,699 down. Hybrid available. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your Prairie Toyota dealer today.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Final hour of the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365. Shout out to all those people who remembered Newt from the Mighty Hercules.
I like the one person that said you didn't even change your voice for the Newt impression.
Oh, yeah, that was Cat Dad. Very ouch, baby. Very ouch. Hey, Herc.
It's very similar to your impression of your mom.
Yeah, I guess I go to that voice a lot. But my mom's got a heavy Polish accent.
You only have one falsetto tone?
Perhaps.
Well, I think that's more than a lot of people do. So
I'm a one-trick pony,
all
baby.
the credit to you. One-trick pony, just like the BC Lions.
Hey.
According to Eddie Steele.
Oh, Tater loves that one. He's laughing over there. And then Husks reminds us, like, Newt would kind of repeat himself.
Right.
So he says,
I might have to look into this.
Newt, got to get hurt. Got to get hurt. I hope I'm doing that right.
And he was like a baby centaur?
Like a kid, like a young centaur. He was like a kid, basically, and he helped Hercules out.
Well,
Was it Newt that played the flute?
You're asking
Remind
wrong
me.
guys.
Remind me. Listen, this I swear to God, this was a commercial, or
Was
not
it
a commercial.
pan flute?
cartoon from the 60s or 70s, and it would be on Saturday mornings, and I actually didn't mind it. And then Hercules would put on his ring, he'd get the power and do his thing, and then he became a badass and beat the crap out of everyone. It was Toot.
Newt and Toot.
Newt and Toot. That's right. Now it's coming back to me. All right, we got to get to Cam and Eggs. Cam, is it good? Good edition of Cam and Eggs? Yeah. Stop yelling at me. Colin Livingston. Hey, Toot played the flute. That's right. Thank you. All right, we're putting it back together. Here's Cam and Eggs with Cam Tate.
It's a club that you really want to be a part of. You ever notice winning is basically cursed? The 97 Marlins win it all, then blow up the roster like champagne was contagious. 108 losses the very next year. Jordan walks away after the three-peat, and the Bulls go from dynasty to dead last. Turns out, team was doing a lot of heavy lifting on one guy's back. Raiders reach the Super Bowl in 2002, then go 4-12. Kings win the Cup in 14, miss the playoffs in 15. Maybe that's the real lesson. The mountaintops got a real short lease. Get up there, take the picture, and get out. Because sports doesn't do sequels. Last October, the Toronto Blue Jays came within 2 outs of a World Series championship. Toronto captured its first American League pennant in 32 years, powered by an MVP-caliber postseason from Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who hit .397 with 8 home runs. Ernie Clement set the all-time record for hits in a single postseason. And Addison Barger delivered the first pinch-hit grand slam in World Series history. But the Dodgers had the last word. Los Angeles rallied to force extra innings in Game 7, then won it 5-4 in the 11th, capturing back-to-back titles, the first team to do that since the turn of the century. Fast forward to today. The follow-up hasn't gone to plan. The defending AL champions sit at 35-38, buried behind the Yankees and Rays in the AL East. From one win away from glory to, well, you decide. Toronto fans, brace yourselves. The team that came within 2 outs of a championship is gone. Not the banner, the players. Bo Bichette, gone, cashing in with the Mets. Chris Bassett, gone. Sir Anthony Dominguez, who was still on the mound in Game 7, gone. Ty France, Isaiah Kiner Falefa, shown the door. They kept Vladdy. That's it. That's the plan. Now Toronto's under 500 and sinking. So ask yourself right now, is this collapse happening on the field or in the front office? Please consider signing your organ donor card. Cam and Eggs, Sports 1440.
Nicely done, Cam. Nicely done. Not giving any love to those Blue Jays. You're not letting them off the hook. Not today, sir. He's giving me a head nod. Yeah. Tough go in Jays Nation this season. And it's incredible, too. Like, I wonder what the mental burden or exhaustion that comes from going to a 7th and deciding game and losing brings with it. Because you climb that mountain, you get right there, and the glory of victory is just snatched away from you, you know? I wonder if there's studies in that. And then, yeah, you're right. You lose a bunch of guys, and it's not the same team anymore. Well done, Cam. That's Cam and Eggs. Great stuff as well. Amazing, on top of that, great Cam and Eggs, in this segment, how many people remember the Mighty Hercules cartoon and have brought up Newt and Toot. And Mike says its name wasn't Newt, it was Newton. But somebody sent in a picture of a coloring book that said Newt and Toot on it, like an official The Mighty Hercules coloring book.
I found a couple clips of this show.
Uh-huh.
And I'm watching right now The Mighty Hercules, The Deadly Ring.
Do you have like little audio
Yeah,
snippets?
we can. This is
including the wizard Daedalus,
The ring you are forging for me, Midas. Will it be as powerful as Hercules' ring?
Perhaps even more powerful, Daedalus. We shall see.
You got to get like Newton there, though.
Yeah, I'll find a clip with some Newt.
Yeah, because he like repeats himself, and he had toot with him, which I think that's a silly name, but it makes sense. You would toot on his flute.
Yeah, so I was doing a quick Wikipedia page reading. Yeah, Toot the satyr, he could only speak through his pan flute.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Ryan had sent in the coloring book of Newt and Toot, which is an authorized edition. Cam, great Cam and eggs. Fantastic as always, my friend. Taking a look at the Blue Jays and their struggles, especially coming off that loss to the Dodgers last year. When we return, Connor Halley will be joining us from the Frenzy and the Jason Greger Show. We'll talk about a smattering, pardon me, and a potpourri of things with our one and only Connor Halley. More on the way here on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
I missed one payment, then another. Now I feel behind on everything. I can't keep up.
Falling behind happens to more people than you think, but there is a solution. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. Together, we can create a plan that fits your situation and helps you get caught up and back in control. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
Get ready for Dreams, the ultimate tribute to Fleetwood Mac, live October 10th at Pure Casino Yellowhead's Pearl Showroom. Relive the magic with a six-piece band delivering the authentic sound, style, and spirit of Fleetwood Mac, featuring iconic costumes, rich harmonies, and unforgettable performances of the greatest hits you love. Tickets from just $44.99. Get yours now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss Dreams, the ultimate tribute to Fleetwood Mac, October 10th at Pure Casino. Pure entertainment, pure action, and pure imagination.
The Tom Gazzola Show. All gas, no brakes. Edmonton's sports leader. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
There it is. Newt and Toot with the mighty Hercules, and we found a good clip. Nicely done, Brandon. Nicely done. Of final hour of the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365. Canada just hit the biggest home run of the summer. Bet365 is available in Alberta and here to stay. Download the app. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Tom, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, Cam Tate, and now with us, Connor Halley from the Frenzy and the Jason Gregor Show. Do you remember the Mighty Hercules? Because we're going to get a lot of texts about that show.
I vaguely remember it. I don't think I ever watched it. That was probably the first clip I've seen when I went back there and looked at the boys watching it. But I remember it. Don't think I was a big fan. Are a lot of the listeners big fans of that program?
It's like some people are like, this is silly. Brett from Sony, we're still talking about this. But yeah, it just came up. How did it come up? We're talking about, you brought up in or out.
Yeah, the Greek heroes.
Greek heroes, yeah.
And I mentioned Hercules as one of the chalk picks. I think a name that most people would flock to. The most famous, the mightiest of heroes. And then you turn that into, I remember watching this show on Saturday morning cartoons.
Yes.
You mentioned Newt. You're like, what about Newt? Newton, the centaur to repeats himself.
Right. A lot of people, like, I know Brett from Stony, he's like, we're still talking about this. I apologize, Brett, but it's incredible the amount of texts that are coming in. Like, bestest show, says Country Kurt. Robbie says, thanks for giving me something to watch tonight. Triple C says, can't stop smiling. Keep running. That Hercules used to watch that show. What a Saturday. Yeah, like it's like a blast from the past. So anyway.
That was your go-to Saturday cartoon?
No. Oh God, no. It just was on.
Yeah.
You know how there'd be Saturday morning cartoons. I think My Pet Monster was in there. Teddy Ruxpin. I think Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers got in there eventually.
Classic.
Toxic. Was it the Toxic Crusaders?
Did you do
Bucky
one
O'Hare.
Saturday morning with like Recess and Doug and
I remember
Pepper
Doug.
Ann or something?
I remember Pepper Ann. I was getting a little bit older. I mean, you and I are roughly the same age.
Close, yeah.
Did you guys ever watch on like Saturday morning cartoons? And this was on like just 3-channel TV that we had at the farm when I was much younger, like White Fang, Inspector Gadget,
Yes.
Care Bears.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the morning rotation when I was younger.
And
then once we got like satellite TV, we could watch like what Connor's saying, like Recess and the things that were on like the Disney Channel.
Those are the ones I got into one Saturday morning. Fired me up as a kid.
Well, there used to be Disney Afternoon with Mike Sobel from Global on ITV, which became Global.
Is that like Gargoyles and
Darkwing Duck, DuckTales.
DuckTales.
Or Tailspin as well. I remember Biker Mice from Mars, Ninja Turtles.
Biker Mice from Mars.
Yeah, I think it was Denver the Last Dinosaur. Oh, so many. Like, this has opened up a can of worms. I apologize. And a lot of people are like texting in different shows that they would watch back in the day. Yeah, it blasts from the past, certainly. Okay, let's fast forward to today. I know you're excited about NFL action.
Yeah.
Right around the corner. Your Chargers. We had Austin Mock on, and he was saying, hey, the Chargers might be one of the teams to look out for this year. Why do you think he's so up on the Chargers, if you will?
I mean, Mike McDaniel coming over from the Dolphins, I think, is massive. If the Chargers can stay healthy, that's kind of the biggest thing. They need Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt to be healthy. They upgraded their center position, which, I mean, everyone saw the graphics when they do the PFF rankings. Their offensive line, without those two studs at the tackle position, was horrendous. Like, every player was almost worse than 32. So there's optimism if they're healthy that Mike McDaniel can get the run game going. Omarion Hampton has a lot of talent. They brought over Keaton Mitchell, who's a home run hitter from the Ravens. Kamani Vidal showed glimpses last year. I think Justin Herbert can make every throw. And the Justin Herbert haters are out there. Bo Nix 42 on Twitter will tell you he's not a good player and can't win. But you see, have Hall of Fame quarterbacks like this guy can make every throw.
Yeah.
It's just kind of figuring things out. In the first couple of weeks of training camp or mini camp, he wasn't even throwing the football. Mike McDaniel was just having him work on his footwork. So they're kind of revamping the throwing motion, how things are going to get going. I think with the defense, if they showed last year, they can be very strong. Jesse Minter obviously was such a good defensive coordinator. He got a head coaching job with the Baltimore Ravens. I think they have talent everywhere. They built up some good depth finally, and it's just about putting it all together. You saw what they can do. I mean, they beat the
the Broncos and the Chiefs last year to start the season. They can beat these teams, but it's all doing it in the postseason now, and that's the biggest question. But I think that there's lots of reason to be optimism. There always is with the Chargers, but then the injuries occur and it kind of falls apart.
Right. With Herbert,
Mhm.
didn't they say like Matthew Stafford would never win? Didn't they say
Yeah.
Sam Darnold would never win? Like, this guy has been a quality QB in his time in the league. Now, listen, you don't have an O-line, good luck. Like,
Yeah.
your head's getting taken off.
100%. I mean, Matthew Stafford, that's a great example. He just had to get out of Detroit. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that, Justin Herbert doesn't have to get out of LA for him to get a chance to win a Super Bowl, but for sure. And, the knockaways will be the postseason hasn't been very good. And it's true.
Fair.
It's fair. The thing I would say is, like you mentioned, the offensive line has been a concern. The Houston Texans kind of ran roughshod on him a couple years ago, but they also haven't been the top seeded team. They're going into these playoff games with the visiting teams. So they're not going in there as like this juggernaut that collapses year after year.
Yeah.
They're usually beat up. They're usually the underdog going into the games. Honestly, I thought they beat the Patriots last year. I was quite wrong. They could not move the football at all. But yeah, I mean, it'll take time. And I mean, the Chargers fans always look back at Peyton Manning. I think he didn't get his first playoff win till year 6. It took him a long time. This is year 6 for Justin Herbert, I believe. So you gotta start doing it. You have to make it happen. And it's kind of what head coach Jim Harbaugh is like, put it all on the line. He said, I have to get this guy into the Hall of Fame. I have to get this guy a Super Bowl. Like, if I don't do that, I'm not doing my job. So
I appreciate that from Harbaugh.
Yeah,
To say
yeah.
something like that about your QB, who is a star. Where do they fall in the AFC West, though? Or even maybe they sit at the top. Like, I know Denver's in the mix. Kansas City, obviously, will be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Vegas, I don't know.
Sorry, Lance, pencil Vegas into the 4th spot.
Yeah.
I don't see them this year getting out of there. I mean, they were the worst team in the league last year, right? You're not going to go from worst to first, especially with 3 quality teams. I think it's kind of 1A, 1B, 1C right now with the Chargers, Chiefs, and the Broncos. Like, can Bo Nix take that next step? They should have beat the Chargers a handful of times the last couple of years, but Bo Nix was just missing on the deep ball. If he adds that to his game, and now with Waddle on that team, they got a legitimate deep threat. Maybe that takes them over the top. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to bounce back, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We'll see how Mahomes is doing coming back from the injury. But yeah, I think it's kind of those 3 teams right now in the race, and we'll see how it plays out. Who can stay the healthiest?
Would it be premature to say the Chiefs, the sun is setting on them?
No, I don't think so. I mean that the sun could set for a few more years,
Sure.
right? But
Slow burn.
They've lost some of their core guys. I think the offensive line we'll see. They kind of revamped the defense a little bit, but brought back Trent McDuffie, I believe. So I mean, I think they can still do it. I'm never going to write off Patrick Mahomes, but he's not getting any younger.
Yeah.
We know that Travis Kelce is probably a year or 2 left. I think they've got to find that next tight end. Rashee Rice, I don't know what's going to happen with him. I mean, the injuries are kind of a concern, and also his off-field stuff. So I mean, they're probably on the back 9, but I think they still got a few good years.
Okay.
Could be whole 11. There could be some more time for
Well,
them.
you're always the optimist, even with a divisional rival.
I don't
So-
want to be, but I mean, I can't rule out Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, right?
Yeah.
They've had so much success, and I mean, they still feel like they're a threat, even though last year clearly they weren't. I mean, down the stretch they
Right.
lost 6 in a row, right? And they weren't getting the calls they usually get, and they were missing those like big conversions. Maybe it's just kind of an off year for them, and they bounce back. But I still kind of think the Chargers and the Broncos are above them.
You know what's interesting? Using the Chiefs as an example, as well as the Bears. Can you fathom them both? Well, I mean, the Chiefs, it's less so of an issue, but them moving and it's the Bears that would be moving out of state
to Indiana.
Yeah. And I
Chiefs
know
are too.
That's close.
They're
And
moving
who-
across the border.
Yeah, I thought so, too.
Into
That's right.
Kansas, yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that? Because to me, I mean, it's money talks. These teams are already worth billions, almost into the 10 billion range. I mean, we were talking about the sale of the Seahawks the other day at 9.6 billion. And now they're essentially building their own mini cities with all their facilities, all the bars and restaurants.
Yeah.
And we do have that example in sports already and the NFL. I mean, you can point to Glendale and in Arizona where the Cardinals play and Westgate and how that took a long time to develop. And it's still not quite what it was supposed to be.
Mhm.
But you can go to Jerry World and then the Cowboys facility apparently is amazing.
Yeah.
Foxborough.
That's where they built the whole city around the stadium out there.
And I think the Raiders did a huge facility in Summerlin, and then down the I-15 you get to Allegiant Stadium. The fact that like these teams and the Chiefs, obviously with what they've done recently, the prestige that comes with it, but the Bears have been around forever and moving out of Soldier Field. Like, don't you think that's kind of nuts that we're at this point that they're like, nah, see you later, Chicago.
Yeah.
We will turn down your couple of billion that you're offering us, and we're going to dip out to Indiana.
Money goes further. I mean, it makes sense to me. It's really disappointing because Soldier Field and Arrowhead are two of the best stadiums in the NFL. Like, those are historic fields that I would love to get out to before they actually move on. But it is a business at the end of the day, so you kind of understand why they're doing it. And these owners probably see this opportunity, like, okay, well, I'll buy all this land. I'll have a stadium. I'm going to have bars, hotels, do all. Heck, casinos, maybe like you can all these things you could have around the stadium and make it an experience. So I understand it, but I feel like it kind of takes away from the soul of the game where you have like the historic Arrowhead Stadium, and it's a good enough stadium that FIFA went there. Like they played some big games there, so obviously that's not a concern. But these owners, the greed is there, right? In every aspect of life, it's like, okay, how can I make more money and how can I have more control? Well, moving out of state clearly helps them.
Well, we had Leah Simakopoulos on from the Dallas Morning News last week, and we were talking about the breakup between the Mavs and the Stars, and both teams leaving American Airlines Center in downtown Dallas, which is a beautiful facility. Every time I went there, pristine, clean, massive, in a nice district that they've built up. But both teams want to move to different cities around Dallas, build their own district and plaza and practice facilities, or they have them, but they want to have the main arena close by. Connie, you're right. Like, money talks, man.
Yeah.
And to see an NFL team turn down, I can't remember what the city of Chicago in its last pitch was, but I think it was over $1 billion or close to $2 billion. Be like, no, we'll redo Soldier Field for you guys, however you want. And they had just done it. Was the renovation like 2003, where they took what was like a 1930s or 40s stadium, created the spaceship at Soldier Field.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And now it's not good enough.
Yeah. Even like on primetime games, like it's one of the coolest looking stadiums.
Yeah.
Like it's all darker on the top. And yeah, I mean, and now I guess if you are the Bears owner and you're thinking, okay, well, it's not that far of a drive. What, an hour, 45 minutes?
That, to me, that's crazy though.
I wonder if they're thinking like, okay, well, we'll do some hotels as well. And now all these people who are buying tickets, now you're coming to our hotel.
Yeah.
And now you're eating at our restaurants and, doing all that sort of thing as well. So a license to print money owning an NFL team.
It is like, but okay, we were talking about this earlier in the show, and we're talking more specifically towards hockey and like, where is that threshold? How much can you push people's buck? And it's one thing to do it 42 times now in the regular season for an NHL team, but I guess when you're in the NFL, it's 8 times, sometimes, and or I guess you have 9 home games depending on the year. Yeah. I think you can make it easier because it's an event and it's only once every couple of weeks as opposed to once every few days.
Yeah.
But to see like just how they're pushing it to these limits is incredible to me. I don't know.
It's me. Make it an event. And I mean, when I would go to games in San Diego, I would talk to people from outside, like San Diego County.
Yeah.
They'd say, we come up the night before, we get it early, tailgate, and then we spend the night here in San Diego rather than, you want to have some beers or whatever, have a good time.
Yeah.
And it turns into an event. So maybe, some of that trickles into the Bears and the Chiefs organization. Inevitably, it happens either way. There's going to be people coming from far and wide to watch it all. But yeah, it's something.
That's the power of the NFL for sure. What's coming up on the show today?
Well,
both shows actually
today on the show. Okay, so on the Frenzy, almost called it something else.
Oh, don't you dare!
Try not to.
I'm kidding.
It's tough. We're gonna do 3 rounds with Josh. So
okay.
As we started yesterday, the new segment where Josh throws 3 topics our way, we debate it, and then we'll be joined by Josh Kendall of The Athletic, looking at the Atlanta Falcons. We're doing NFL as well, but we're just going alphabetical. So we did your cards yesterday.
Yeah, how'd that go?
No, it was good.
Who'd you guys have on again?
The text line was a little tough.
Well, I mean, there's like 9 Cardinals fans in Alberta. So
why are you talking about them? You know Mackenzie?
Yep.
Her boyfriend is a Cards fan.
Bird Gang.
There's two of you here.
All right.
We had Tyler Drake on
Okay.
yesterday, and yeah, I mean, what did he say, Duke? 4 wins was his kind of his prediction. Could
Aim-
be 0-11 to start the year.
Aim low and achieve.
You know what? There's going to be some good quarterbacks in the draft this year. Then on the Gregor show, we've got Woodley, McCarthy, Speck. We're going to be doing a few more things. We had to push the Yaremchuk till tomorrow.
Oh.
But yeah, we'll be very busy. We're going to be reach out to the Elks as well. Get a player to join us as well.
Good. Yeah. Big week coming up for the Elks, taking on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Oh, last one for you. Have you gone to SoFi Stadium yet?
No, not yet. I want to go so bad.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, I've heard good things. Not cheap to get into.
No.
But we had a plan a couple of years ago, Ashley and I, to go down to California, and like SoFi wouldn't quite have been finished yet, but I was going to go like try to get a tour of it. There's a big pandemic, slowed that all down, of course. But yeah, one day, I mean, when Benny's a little older, maybe mixing a Disney trip or something, we'll get down there.
Have you indoctrinated him already?
Sadly, yes. He
Sadly, yes.
He was, I don't know, 3 weeks old when he put his first jersey on. Little Justin Herbert jersey. So
yes.
he's on to the second one now.
Okay.
He's
gonna be a big boy.
He does not know the troubles ahead, the struggle.
Why would you do that to him?
Yeah.
I'm just
You know
kidding.
what? If he wants to push back in 5 years, I'll let him.
I respect that.
Yeah.
You know what? That's beautiful. That's life.
Yeah.
Father son, beautiful relationship.
Create a
there.
rivalry potentially.
Perhaps.
I mean, I have friends whose kids like became Flames fans.
Really?
What would you do?
I would say, why did you do that to yourself?
Why did you do this? Yeah. Hey, it's a possibility, but you just try to guide them on the right path.
That's beautiful. Good stuff as always, Connor. Thanks for hopping on.
Thank you, Tom.
There you go. Connor Halley from The Frenzy coming up next, as well as the Jason Gregor Show. One last break, and then we wrap up what has been a pretty fun and quick Tuesday here on the Gazzola Show, brought to you by Bet365.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, denim man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Showman for the games live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
The Brick's 55th birthday bash continues with big savings store-wide. Save on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics. Plus, take 55 months to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses, or 36 months on appliances and electronics on approved credit. Find up to 30% off bedroom packages, up to 40% off select mattresses, and don't forget, you could be one of 275 winners with over $155,000 in prizes to be won. Hurry in, the birthday bash ends July 29th at the Brick. Saving you more.
Hi, Edmonton. The legend has been reimagined. Check out the all-new 2026 Subaru Outback. With Subaru's legendary symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, impressive cargo versatility, advanced safety technology, and an IIHS Top Safety Pick Award or higher for 17 consecutive years, the Outback delivers confidence wherever adventure takes you. Whether it's the daily drive, the mountain getaway, or anything in between, the all-new Outback is built for the journey. Test drive it today at your local Subaru dealer. Welcome to Uncommon.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Tom Gazzola Show on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Presented by Bet365. Alberta, we are here to stay.
Some song. Great choice, Brando. Little Tears for Fears there. Weezer did a cover of it, which I love as well. I looked at Tater, who's in studio with us. I said, you love this song. He goes, 1985, Vancouver. Her name was Cindy. There, look at him giggling. Oh, you just like cracking up over there all day. Cam Tate in studio with us, as well as Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, Connor Halley hanging out as well. I'm Tom. Thank you for hanging out with us all morning long. It's been wonderful. Great text. The cartoon stuff. It's crazy how many texts came in and like the trips down memory lane. And who was it? Was it Bruce that texted in? No, there was someone else. It was like, all good, all is forgiven. We're still on it. But yeah, it took us down memory lane. Some good stuff there. Oh, Brett from Stoney was like, I forgive you, Tom. Thank you. And then somebody else was like, I've been laughing this whole time. Good. Happy to provide. I know it's a bit smoky out there. The Elks had to take their practice indoors, which is rare. I know Mark Killam likes to keep the team outside in the elements, but if it's that bad out there and the team had to move into the field house, probably not great. I haven't peeked outside. Took a look at a live cam shot of downtown and you could see the haze. So at least the rain has stopped. I mean, we could do away with the rain lately, that's for sure. But anyway, I digress. Boys, what a show today. It's been good.
We made our way around.
We did.
Touched on a number of different topics, some of them expected, a few unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, I think, par for the course.
I think considering it's the dog days of summer, you and I were talking about that yesterday, Brandon.
Yeah, we're there.
We're making it
in my
happen.
opinion.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, participation's been good. I've appreciated that. I've learned a lot of things today, some Greek mythology.
Yeah, man. I get caught in my own little bubble sometimes that I just assume everyone else in the world has the same interests that I do.
I'm sure a lot of people do love Greek mythology.
Like there's just a few things that I get really into, and that would probably be one of them. So yeah, it's a big passion of mine.
Now, this stems from Fenny going to see the Odyssey and giving it the love that he believes it deserves,
mm-hmm.
and it being a summer blockbuster. And it got to the point where Fenny's going back to see it again
today.
And you got a steal of a deal. You want to talk about ticket prices?
Yeah, if only everyone was as smart of a shopper as Josh Fenwick.
Okay, well, let's not go pumping my tires here too much. My birthday present every year from my parents for the last few years has been a Cine Club membership to Cineplex, because I do love going to the movies. I'll see you at the movies. But you get a free ticket every month. And so when you go to these like specialty screenings or anything of the such where the tickets are more expensive, they just give you a discount.
Okay.
So this one was $10. And I basically now go shopping at places that exclusively will take like scene cards as oh, do you have a Scene Plus card? I do, as a matter of fact.
How about that?
So I can get scene points. And so I had $8 and some odd change. Use that. So I got my ticket for $1.93, and I'll be upstairs at 3 p.m. this afternoon to take in another 2 hours and 52 minutes of the Odyssey.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, just 2 hours and 52 minutes.
But you said it's that good.
It is simply that good. I listened to the score on the drive into work this morning.
Oh, wow.
Which there's no orchestra for this either.
What is it?
They had Ludwig Göransson, famed composer of Community.
Course, yeah. Community?
He did
Great
some episodes
show.
for Community.
Yeah, that was an awesome show.
Worked with historians to find and also replicate old Greek musical instruments. There we go. That's the word. I couldn't remember the word.
Objects.
Was there
musical objects? Of course.
And
the pan flute.
Yeah.
Well, that's like obviously around. And so they like anything that didn't exist, they did their best to like recreate, and hopefully they were like, well, maybe this is the right sound that would have been produced by this. So
Wow.
it's really interesting.
I need to go see this film. Are you watching in IMAX? Do we have the
Oh
IMAX
yeah,
theater up here?
They flew out projectionists to work in the IMAX theater because it's being shown on 70 millimeter.
Amazing. And it was shot. This was the first movie
That
ever.
was entirely shot on 70 millimeter camera.
Yes.
Because even Oppenheimer, it wasn't the entire thing. Large parts of it were.
Large
but-
parts of it, just like Sinners last year was shot on 70 millimeter, but only certain parts of it. So yeah, this is the first one to go all the way through, which I mean, like the reason is because there's just not a lot of IMAX screens available. 41 in the world, I think, is the number. One in Regina, Saskatchewan, though. Shout out to everyone in Saskatchewan being able to go and see this.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's incredible that Christopher Nolan's known for that. And he likes practical effects as well.
Yeah, the Cyclops in the movie is a puppet. It's not it's CGI'd over after.
Going Spielberg route.
Yeah, but it's like it was a 12-foot tall puppet in this practical set that they had.
That's awesome.
And he hates CGI so much. I love Christopher Nolan. I hope to hate AI as much as Christopher Nolan hates CGI.
It could happen. I mean, AI is like all over the place now.
And think about it, Josh. You're going to see the same movie for the second time in 3 days. Tom never rewatches any movie or TV show ever.
Except
polar opposites.
Except for Ghostbusters.
Except for the Mighty Hercules.
And that too, yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
Herb says, I love Greek mythology in high school, but it could have had something to do with the young, very liberal teacher who did not wear a bra.
Herb the dog on the text lines.
Yes. Good
Woof.
response. Why are you yelling at me, Tater? Check my email. Okay, here we go. I can't wait to see this. I'm looking. I didn't get anything. Oh, there it is. Right on time. Okay, Cam. I'm just going to read this without double checking it. And so we ask the following questions about tomorrow's Tom Gazzola show. Will Fenny wear his earphones backwards to Cineplex? Like you do, you've got them on now. It's just a style thing. Will we finally name the dog of summer? Because it is the dog days of summer. Cam asks, will Duke finally announce he's running for the mayor of Delburn?
Never.
Wouldn't that be the Reeve?
No, it's a village.
Okay,
okay.
okay.
And I don't even think they call them Reeves anymore. I think they're just called county mayors. Like, I know that was the title.
Yeah.
Which I also learned in grade 6. I think social studies, right? When you learn government systems.
Yep.
But I think they're just mayors now.
Well, see, I paid attention to something in school. It
Clearly.
might not have been Greek mythology, but Cam asks, will Tommy wear his colorful running shoes again? I'm wearing red, black, and white running shoes. We'll see, Cam. I've got some other sneaks that I'll bust out for you. And then Cam asks, will Tate sneaks all day? And he meant sneeze. Yeah, will you? I mean, you just want to get on air so bad you fake sneezed all day? Yeah, he's just laughing over there. You're having too much fun. I like it. I like when Cam's in a good mood like that. Got time for it. By the way, just some news that came down. We were talking about Jet Graves. He signed.
No arbitration here.
No arbitration. 4.7 million. Oh, wait. No, he didn't. Sorry. I thought he signed for 4.7. I misread the headline. The Jackets and goaltender Jet Graves were 4.7 million apart in their arbitration. Briefs filed Tuesday with the two sides to. Okay, so they're so far apart.
I do have something for you, though, Tom.
Fire it at me.
The Utah Mammoth have extended John Marino.
Aha, the Mammoth.
8-year deal, $54 million. That is an average annual value of $6.75 million. 29-year-old was going to be a UFA next summer.
Oilers draft pick was never going to play here. They passed him off, traded him to Pittsburgh. He turned it into a good career, and he gets his bag. Nicely done, John Marino. Terry, let's finish up with a couple of texts here. Terry says, just remember that AI is going to come for your jobs one day soon. That is scary. I think they've tried AI newscasters. I don't like it, and hopefully it never happens.
I always say, Tom, like, if we just keep saying ridiculous things and taking our conversations in these most insane directions, we can avoid the AI push. Like, they won't be able to get to duplicate
right.
our brains getting as much off track.
In a good way, of course.
Sometimes, yeah,
Sometimes,
sure.
yeah.
Other times. And hey, each listener probably feels a little bit of a different way. Some
Sure.
were probably disgusted by our extensive Greek mythology and the Mighty Hercules TV show talk. Others, and reflecting by the text line, tons loved it because a little bit of nostalgia for people, which is always encouraged more often than not.
Some of the cartoons that popped up that people texted in, I was like, oh yeah, that one and that one. I didn't like that one. Like, I didn't like Babar.
Oh, really? I enjoyed
I found
Babar.
it bizarre.
Bizarre Babar?
Caillou really pissed me off.
Did anybody like Caillou?
My brother.
Why was that on TV? I've never met a single person that said they liked it. All he did was whine and complain.
Yeah, like what's this jackass's deal here?
We had a student teacher, and she was a older woman, like compared to most student teachers. Her name was Miss Caillou, and she like Cajun. It was French spelling of Caillou, not with the EUX on the end.
Yeah,
and she hated it. She's like, it's said the same way, but I ain't that bald-headed baby. Is what she'd always say in her like Acadian Cajun type accent. Very funny,
spicy.
Yeah.
Arthur was good. Recess was good. Rugrats was phenomenal. Rupert, I remember Rupert. I don't mind Rupert. Tintin was great.
Tintin was a staple in French class when we were taking it in the grades 4, 5, and 6. You just put the English subtitles on and run it in French.
Snowy and the Captain.
Milou.
Yeah.
That's Snowy in
Milou.
French. Milou.
Well, I'll tell you what, Babar can take a hike. Same with Caillou, in my opinion. And then IMAX says his buddy and his wife went to see the Odyssey and were disappointed. They couldn't golf, so they hit a flick. And then Mike D, sporting his headphones on backwards, says Josh. Oh no, talking about hitting the points. Says Josh, I do the same thing. My life economy revolves around WestJet points and Canadian Tire money. Everything I buy for myself is essentially free. You know what? You take advantage of those deals, Josh. Oh yeah, he likes it. Fenny's like, oh yeah. You don't sneeze. You all right? Tater's all right. He's laughing. He's having a great time. We had a lot of fun today. Big thank you to everybody who texted in, everybody who watched, everybody who listened. We appreciate you very, very much. I know it's smoky out there, but let's make the most of this Tuesday. We're in it together, fam. You know what I'm saying, chat? It's the stupidest thing. I can't believe I said that. For Josh Fenwick, Brandon Douglas, Cam Tate, I'm Tom Gazzola saying have a lovely Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. The Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas next. But we got to get to a sports update with Brandon, brought to you by All-Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities, specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunication, and street lighting. That's All-Star Construction. Have a great day, everyone. Here's Brando.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Utah Mammoth and defenseman John Marino coming to terms on an 8-year extension that'll pay him an AAV of $6.75 million. 29-year-old blue liner was set to hit UFA status next summer, entering the final year of a 6-year contract that carries a $4.4 million cap hit. Columbus Blue Jackets and goaltender Jet Greaves have both submitted their numbers ahead of an upcoming arbitration hearing for the RFA. $4.7 million apart are the two numbers. Greaves 7.5, while the team entering at a $2.8 million offer. Over in the NFL, Miami Dolphins and linebacker Jordan Brooks agreeing on a 3-year, $51.3 million deal, $35 million of which coming fully guaranteed, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. And full slate of games once again in the major leagues of baseball today, including Toronto Blue Jays hosting the Tampa Bay Rays. First pitch just after 5 o'clock. Kevin Gosselin on the bump for Toronto. Catch that game right here on Sports 1440. Join in progress at the conclusion of the Jason Gregor Show. Elsewhere, Yankees hosting the Pirates. Orioles and Red Sox go at it from Fenway Park. Boston looking for a 15th consecutive win. And in the nightcap, Seattle taking on the Reds from the Pacific Northwest. WCL action from Remax Field tonight. Riverhawks up against Kamloops. First pitch just after 7. And the Edmonton Stingers on the road taking on the Mamba from Saskatoon. Tip-off 7:30. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is the Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brendan Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR.